Yay, there we go. Hello, Internet. Sorry about that. I hit start and nothing happened. We are doing choo-choo trains because 'tis a Wednesday. I forgot what was going on though. It's been too long. Mega Interchange is having problems. Where is it having problems to? Great Jesbourne Woods.
Problems on the receiving end also.
No, it seems to have sorted itself out now. Or it says it does. Wouldn't lie to me, would it?
Error 1000.
Oh, error 1000. What's error 1000?
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, I just tried to use WSAD to scroll around. That doesn't work. Oh, yeah, Monorail, not Maglev. Oh, my hands are all tingly. I've been using a rotary tool, a Dremel clone, on a stuck header bolt on a motorbike. So my hands are tingly. Great Jesbourne Woods. Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting. Well, that's easy to fix. Clone you. Clone you. Mega Interchange. Yes. Oh, that's very loud. Yeah, although I quite like this Thomas Tank Engine mod, like it hasn't given us any new vehicles. It just says that Gordon's getting really old. Like, right, well, upgrade it, and it's like there isn't anything to upgrade it to.
I think buying a new one will be like more reliable, even if it's still like the same model.
Yes. Well, no, because Gordon's. Oh wait, no, there isn't. Hold on. Settings, renew. Ah, tick. Auto renew vehicle when it gets old on. Yes, that was an option that we had off for some reason. I had off for some reason.
I'm surprised my lines are still operational.
Well, if to be honest, if you design stuff properly, you can just leave it. It will go for 20, 30 years. It's only if you do something silly, but you'll end up with a mess. Okay, Sex Toy 1, are you making me any money? Oh, wow, yes, absolutely shit tons. Excellent.
Do the industries have like infinite capacity to store their outputs? Or do they get stuck if I don't? only put inputs in and never get outputs out?
So if you're taking wood to a sawmill, for example, and you never offload the goods, your rating for goods will eventually drop to 0. So you will get 0% of the goods. The goods just evaporate in that case. So there's no like limit as such. It's just that those goods will get offered to other people. And obviously the more you have waiting, the lower your rating.
If I have a factory that takes 3 inputs, then it's kind of fine to only supply 2 of them.
There are no factories that require 3 inputs. Not in base game. Factories will take 3 different things, and from those they will create goods. But it doesn't matter whether you deliver it 1, 2, or 3 things. So that was the Wasteland mod made that much more complicated and cool. That's why I was impressed about what you could do with the base game. Where's Pip and Emma? Yeah, so I've got a Gordon. Oh, that's a Gordon? I think it's a Gordon. Gordon, the big engine. Gordon is getting in the way of Pip and Emma, because Pip and Emma are quite a lot faster. Oh no, they're a little bit faster, but they accelerate better. Dora is sulking because I wouldn't let her into the garage whilst I was using power tools. Zebra, the thing you linked about Kara Command's torpedoes lasting 10 minutes. I wonder what that equates to in terms of range. Is that what, 10? 20 kilometers?
I think it was mentioned.
Because it did mention sea-based torpedoes as well, which I know exist. Because I was thinking about this earlier. Because Xiaoka likes to fly around planes, as do we all. But I'm thinking, what are planes a counter to? Because if I knock out all of the guns and anti-air and things that can shoot the planes down, well, there's nothing left. So I was trying to work out what good the planes are. Now, if you can drop a torpedo, if you can fly off and knock out a plane with torpedoes, sorry, a boat with torpedoes from a plane 10 kilometers away, that's pretty cool. But as it is, the planes don't feel like glass cannons. They feel like just glass. Use your words.
Trying to. Okay.
Hi, Max.
Hello.
But I assume that...
Train faster, didn't I?
I don't know, I haven't looked at the graphs. Let's have a look. Trainfest is slightly ahead of iOS Incorporated. Since Zebra joined, he's managed to actually drop his rating lower than an AFK player, so good job there.
I didn't notice that, yeah.
Like, if you do nothing, you'd have done better. Anyway, no, it's alright.
Yeah, I changed a couple of things, did some investment. Torpedoes, carrier launched have between 9 and 10 minutes of runtime. However, it varies. I don't understand if how there is a active and passive change, like
Because you have the arm time.
Ah, okay.
You don't coming back straight back at the ship.
Yeah. So before then, before the arm time, they won't explode. They'll just bonk into something, not do any damage.
It's just passive and then it gets active. In passive, they move roughly 2.5 kilometers per minute.
That means they can. Yeah. Okay. So that means they could go 25. Okay. And what about in active mode?
Effective range is about 20 kilometers. So, okay.
Wow. So
Looks like 2 hits for a swordfish. Yeah, we already confirmed that yesterday.
Yeah. So we can knock stuff out a long way away. So this means. Now I'm trying to think how we could use a plane to give us a bearing on something outside of visual range, and you can't really.
It looks like aircraft launch torps have a 30-second hard-coded.
Yeah, we haven't got those there though.
outlay.
We do.
I think
We do? Oh.
We may have. I'm not sure, but I think I saw them. You can drop them from max altitude and they won't shatter, so they can last about 7 minutes, so plus minus 17.5 kilometers. One of the fixed wing with 2 torpedoes and 2 range extender tanks. You can like bomb the enemy carrier.
Well, yeah, but you'll just tickle it.
Well, it's 2 torpedoes. You bet get the next 2 and send. Okay, most likely that's returned.
Well, the enemy carrier won't do. Well, you won't kill the enemy carrier in 2 torpedoes. At least not in the previous game. I'd say. Well, we haven't got that far in this one.
Or you can put bombs on.
Yeah. But yeah, certainly in the previous character command, the only real way to win was to play the economics game, starve the enemy carrier of fuel, and wait for it to run out of fuel so it couldn't run away. And that was about it. And then whittle away its weapons. It was very difficult to win, because of course you're completely evenly matched. But yeah, it's go on.
Does it play by different rules?
In
Does that make an asymmetry on it?
In the original game, it did, because it could move far, far quicker than you, and didn't worry about, collision. So if you spooked it, it would just run away through the landscape. So it would cheat. Now, I don't know whether this does. Hopefully not too much. But yeah, I was trying to work out what good planes are. We haven't worked something out about planes. Because we don't seem to be doing any significant... We haven't done anything particularly useful for them, unfortunately.
I was soloing the one shield island because it only had seals with guns. And the plane could shoot them and they couldn't shoot back.
Who was firing cruise missiles via the aircraft yesterday? I think Shaco.
Yes. No, not the enemy aircraft. We've never seen that.
I use some carrier missiles with the plane, yes. And we have like production of laser missiles.
So which one are laser missiles?
Those which are not cruise missiles but are like plane and tank launched.
Okay. But yeah, I was surprised last night because I said I thought it'd be an easy final kill. Didn't realise that the regular guns would let the seal shoot at me, tried to run away, and then something else. I didn't even see what it was. Because the original game, you could fly drones out like to scout stuff, and the drones couldn't get killed. I booted it up earlier. I was. It's still very impressive, certainly for its time, but sequel's much better.
I think there are techniques to use them more for scouting. If you fly high, then you are more out of range for the AA.
Yes.
Then you have also smaller range where you can block and identify stuff.
True. So Max, we seem to have an awful lot of passengers and not much else going on here. So we started.
Okay.
So we started on Sunniston Woods,
Yes.
and that's Gordon the
We're
Wooden
starting
Train.
on my own little project down the bottom here.
That's Gordon the Wooden Train. That's all right. He's Oh, Gordon the Wood. I hate that. Go here. Well, all right then. But before I go there, I'm just going to go to the depot on the other side of here. Could you not do that on the way out?
I'm going to be buying a couple of trains in a minute, so why I'm delaying.
We are raking in the money. You are doing monorails, right?
No. Was I supposed to be a monorail?
Yeah, we're done on trains. Trains are old and
shit.
busted, sir. But if you it's easy to.
The area that I'm connecting to is already in range.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So if you're doing something new, it's easy enough to then convert it to monorail.
Monorail.
Monorail. Okay, so Gordon's heading back.
It's damned inconvenient, you know.
Which is
Well, I'm just trying to land at the track, but I'm hooking up to the main line, and I've hooked it up so that it goes past the factory first, and then to the farms, which is fine. But then
Yeah.
you go back to the farms. I mean, it'd be farm into the factory because it's quickest.
Mhm.
You know, in terms of squares travel, it doesn't give you any more bonus. So I need to reverse the way they're coming in, which means I've got to do some jiggery pokery over here. Something like that. I know it's horrible, but there they are. Facts is facts.
come on, Gordon.
But yeah, so far I didn't see any posts like, hey, if you have this weapon, you need this ammo.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ammo types, aren't there, with no explanations, like 40mm rounds, 20mm rounds, I don't know what 100mm rounds are for. I know 160 is for the main carrier, but 100mm round, I mean, that's like an Abrams main. That's a tank shell.
Yeah, Abrams has 125.
125, yeah. But it's not. It'd be nice if it was like when it said blah 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 gun. If it then said 120 mils, it didn't just go machine gun. It went 120 mil or 20 mil machine gun or whatever.
120 mil.
A 120 mil machine gun would be pretty scary. Let's be honest. I don't know if you've ever seen Metal Storm. They're designs for railgun fired bullets, and the goal is there's almost no gap between the bullets. There's a millimeter gap between the bullets, so it's more or less a solid row of explosive metal traveling at supersonic speeds.
I think I've seen that one.
They're very cool, very scary, not currently used. Mostly due to the cost, but like if aliens attack us or something, that'll be ideal.
You think that if some civilization is thousands of years ahead, But our advanced weapons will count for something.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, there's a great MMA fight that I can't remember who it was between, but it did the rounds because it was basically someone with a black belt in karate and taekwondo and this and that and this and that and this and that, and he just got the shit beaten out of him by someone whose style was street fighting, who basically just sprinted at him and then just duffed him up. So none of his advanced techniques were better than just punching the other one. So no matter what your clever techniques are, not much outweighs a solid stream of bullets, each doing 1,000 miles an hour. I think someone ramming a kilometre-long pole into you at 1,000 miles an hour. So unless you've got, magic shields or something, even if you've got, like, I don't know, ultra mega perfect armour, you're still going to get shoved backwards at quite a rate. So yeah, not necessarily. I hope not to be around to find out. I think Fermi's theorem? Fermi's paradox.
Fermi's paradox.
Fermi's paradox, yeah, not Fermi's theorem, that's something else. Puts me in good stead for never having seen that, so I'm going to have to just stick to the movies.
Or /RHFY.
Absolutely, but that's not true, unfortunately.
Good stories, though. $159 passengers, guys.
Right, what's going on here? There's no one in that, right?
Quote from the insufficient OSHA instructions.
What the people on rolling their car? Insufficient seatbelts?
There's nobody in there, right?
In where?
That
Looks
way
like-
of figuring out if it's safe to do something.
It looked at least like there were one or two puppets being thrown out.
Yeah, I just think so. When you do track days, one of the things they don't let you do is you can't have your window down. You get your window open a crack, but not down, because you roll the car. The first thing that'll happen is your arm will go out the window. Now, if it rolls too far, obviously the window will smash. But hopefully by that point you'll have time to react. You'll pull your arms in. But by the time a car rolls onto its side, you're still absolutely under not even reflexes. So yeah, they don't let you do that for that reason. Obviously don't let you.
Which is a good train for lots of pulling.
Gordon's pretty much the best train around now.
Great.
Do you remember I was having a problem with the train?
Yes.
It's still happening. This train has got 73 passengers on it, and it still has 73 passengers on it.
They're not getting off anywhere.
Well, it's not told to full load. It's just told to transfer and take cargo. So full load. No, full load any cargo. Oh, are they for a different destination? But hold on, do we actually? That might be why. I think what it is, all the passengers here are for, yeah, they're for Great Jesburn Woods. Yeah, Great Jezza. And that's Pip and Emma. Pip and Emma, by the way, either making shit tons of money every year or absolutely no money, depending on if the stars line up.
I do not know that making astronomical amounts of stuff is very big. I guess one could call it astrological amount of stuff. It's very much or very little.
Yeah, I don't know why we use that term.
Astronomical.
Like, it's astronomical amounts. What? Stars. Like, it's the same as the number of stars in the sky. Sure, that's a big number. But you don't say that. You say astronomical amount, which doesn't really scan and make any sense.
I think that's because it's a field where the numbers are bigger than you think. That's like a common occurrence. Like where you need this distinction between many and huge amounts.
Let's have a look. Oh wow. So it comes from the 1550s and means pertaining to astronomy. And it wasn't until the late or very, very early 1900s we started using it to mean a lot. Don't know what kicked it off. Be astronomical should not be an adjective, really, apart from to measure something that is astronomy. Okay, how's Gordon doing? How you doing, Gordon? You good?
Well, should microscopic be about small things or rather be relegated to looking at things?
No, microscopic would be only one thing. I have a microscopic amount, but if you can have a microscopic amount, that means a very small amount. That does scan as well. You don't have a telescopic amount, though. That would just, you'd be mad if you said that.
So astronomical as a lot is bad, but microscopic as few is fine.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's fine. I'm just it is used. Right, why is there a signal there? That's not right.
Macroscopic would be the opposite of microscopic.
Can you imagine that?
The way you use it. I've got a macroscopic amount of food.
What's the chances of this? It's the chances are macroscopic. So it's quite likely then.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like disgruntled. The opposite of disgruntled is gruntled, which means, you know, to be happy and pleased with something. All right, so how do
Is used, and there's even mesoscopic things when it's between microscopic and macroscopic.
But no one uses gruntled. No one uses macroscopic either, except
We shouldn't be using gotten either.
no. Except possibly ill-gotten gains.
Which we very rarely use.
But it wouldn't be ill. How would you say it in English?
Well, thief. Thievery, bad.
No, because specifically ill-gotten gains is something you stole. But you wouldn't say ill-got gains.
No.
Isn't it
A
correct?
completely different sentence? I don't know. Well, apart from that one exception, I don't know anyone who has. The other word that we do use that does have that is forgotten.
Yes.
Good job, Gordon.
Oh wow! Apparently, gotten is a perfectly fine English word, and you're wrong. Like, yeah, absolutely is an English word going back.
I'm sorry.
Hundreds of years. Wow.
Wow. Auto-renewed money limit. I'm like, how much money does it take to auto-renew Pip and
I
Emma?
bet they're expensive. But yeah, I'm afraid, Max, it is perfectly usable as a British word. It's not.
Sure it is.
It's not common. It's archaic, but it is actually
Yes.
actually a British word for Americans.
It's the Americans which is why I should be hating it.
Yeah.
Because they love using, oh, I've gotten a new thing. I'm like, no, it's I got a new thing. I bought a new thing, not I got a new thing. I don't know. I get confused about the whole thing a bit. But,
No,
Another train, by the way, just to warn you.
yeah, it's fine.
Another couple, actually.
No, I am often surprised. Sometimes I think words are worldwide and they are British, and sometimes I think that words are new. And, you know, I said like the word literally, that I felt was a modern corruption of the word, but it's not. It's never meant that. It's like, oh.
Isn't gotten like regular? It's not even irregular.
Gotten's quite American. Apart from the word ill-gotten gains, would you say I gotten... it's just not really very English to use it. But they use it as a past participle of got.
And it's perfectly regular. So that's
well,
easy to read it as that.
Yeah, but I've gotten ill.
I've gotten a new headset.
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't really... Yeah.
I did get a new headset.
Yeah. Yesterday I got a new guitar. Yesterday I got a new guitar.
I got.
Yeah, but in American English you'd say gotten.
That's like a different meaning.
No, it's the same. You can switch got and gotten out directly.
You wouldn't say that I stolen a toothbrush.
No. You'd say, but that's not the same.
You
Isn't
speak
it?
the toothbrush.
Yeah, I stole the toothbrush. I have stolen the toothbrush. Therefore, I have gotten a new one. Therefore, I have got a new one. It scans in either direction. I don't agree with it. I am with Max on this one. It feels...
Isn't it an adjective rather than a verb?
Well, no. I have gotten a new toothbrush. It's not an adjective, is it? It's definitely a verb. Because I've got it. A verb is a doing word. I was taught at school.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he just went straight through. I was like, who's full? No, he just went straight through.
Wow, I need more money.
Working on it.
Spending it all right. That's how we now have 3 Gordon the Good engines.
I've just bought 2.
Oh wow.
Not just this year. Financial year. But lots of grain, no. Hopefully we're going to make some goods for them. 0 crates of goods. Oh, come on, make some goods.
Yeah, so I'm currently dropping goods all the way up to Great Gesbourne Woods. Because it's a long...
I'm taking mine to Tilly Lee Woods.
Yeah, the reason I'm taking it there is because it's a hell of a long way away. And obviously, as we know, the further you take something, the more money you make.
Within certain parameters.
Yeah. It's only really passengers that get sulky if you take too long. Most of the rest of the things don't really care. I just upgraded Great Gesbourne Woods just in case though. But yeah, that's representing all my goods because it's a big fast station and English words and it's not near anything.
Is it a long way away?
Yes. So,
Look there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But the thing is, it accepts goods. It's got a very fast optimized line. And it's a long way away.
Is it worth me sending? The trouble is,
Well,
it could be worth me sending my trains over there.
not necessarily, but maybe. I said that you're quite right. There is an upper limit, but it's usually high. But I was considering setting up a monorail. Though I have kind of spent all our money.
And then had to be to loan.
Wow, we spent like $2 million last year on trains.
Yes. Which is why I'm resting to buying it more right now. I'm waiting for the line to actually start getting some goodies on it. Oh, pretty good.
Ah, thank you, Zebra. That's rather good. I shall pin that for the moment.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell where it's.
No. Oh, well, is that not the colour? Oh, no, that's... Yeah, you think there would have been a nice thingy to see where it's made.
Because just from the armament legend, there's a 20mm autocannon. Okay, cool. I still don't know what the 30mm is. What does it say?
That's
Oh,
the
120mm
regular gun.
artillery gun. Sonic pulse generator. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of these yet. We have to unlock more blueprints by capturing islands, which will get... That will give our existing islands access to more blueprints.
The ammo chart, on the other hand, is quite useful. Okay, looks like 20-meter autocannon is the C. No, it's not. Oh yeah, it's the series.
I'm sorry, sir. A 20-meter autocannon? Now, that would be extremely dangerous.
That's the plain machine gun.
What, you just fire planes at people?
Not the plane fires at you.
No, the plane, 20-meter autogun would be just the plane.
Sounds like a spaceship weapon. But yeah, TV guided missile sounds like either a sort of submunition you control afterwards.
Yes, you'll steer it, I'm sure.
Ooh.
Yo.
Hi.
Ugh.
Uh,
I don't like you right now, Tad.
oh, because of Gotten?
No, because of I spent like an hour trying to cut a bolt out. So I squared off the edges and I just cannot get enough grip. So now I've just nearly cut the head off. It sticks out away, so I'm hoping I can then cut a slit in it and get something in there just to crack it. Otherwise, the next step is to drill bigger and bigger holes in the middle of the bolt until the bolt loses its structural integrity, hopefully without fucking up the thread of the cylinder housing. How are you?
Oh, dear. I'm okay.
If there's a better way of doing this, by the way, please do let me know, but I don't think there is.
You can get those
What?
bolt extractor heads, can't you?
Yeah, I've got some.
You mean the trick bits where you sort of drill it into the bolt
Yep.
head, or
Yep.
whatever, and then what do you get out of the hull? What do you...
So what you do is you drill a little hole, a small hole into the bolt. So you cut the top of the bolt off, so the bolt's now flush with whatever it's stuck in. Then you drill a little hole in the bolt, and then you drill the screw extractor in, which kind of goes in the wrong direction, and then it just suddenly it will bite, and it will tear the ever-living shit out of anything you put it at. They are amazing. I bought an expensive set and a cheap set, and they were literally identical. Sometimes you only get to use them once, but doesn't matter, and I've used them at the arcade a lot. They are really, really good. So they're designed to sort of bite into the bolt. So you kind of screw a smaller bolt into a bigger bolt and hopefully get enough purchase, yeah.
Wow.
But it's properly, this thing is... The thing is, the other three were easy.
Was it on your car?
Nah, my bike. I found somewhere that says they will re-chrome the exhausts. But to do that, I need to
Please
get...
not buy just new exhausts.
Well, assume for a moment I can buy new exhaust. I still got to get the old ones off, regardless of what I do.
Yes, but at that point you just go, where's my multi-tool? Just hack the shit out of it.
Well, no, that's the problem. I can't.
Oh, they come straight off the, don't they? Yeah, off the...
Yeah, the problem is there's no room whatsoever. I could just about get an Allen key in there. Just about. So it's proving to be an extremely difficult thing. There's just simply...
Strip the bike down to get into it.
No, because the thing that's in the way is the exhaust. I mean, if I were to cut the exhaust off, sure, but...
You're not, I mean, it may sound stupid, I don't know. But can you not cut a part of the exhaust off to make it easy to work on?
Well, no, because I'm trying to get the exhaust off so I can get it fixed. And the answer, why don't
It's just a bolt.
why don't I just get new exhaust? Because exhaust's £800. And I'm pretty sure rechroming it will cost me less than that. Bloody hope so. I haven't got a quote yet, but we'll see. And if I just popped a picture of the Discord of it, I'm not sure that actually, yeah, it's a bit zoomed in. But you can see what's currently left of the screw on the left. And you
That
can see
bit
it.
hanging out.
Yeah, see how much room I've not got to do anything in there. Now, if I could cut the exhaust off, of course it gets much easier, but I can't. But there's
Maybe
genuinely...
you get some sort of multi-tool in there.
No, I've...
Cut through the thread.
well, cut the head of the bolt off. Yes, that's what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
I can barely get a Dremel in there. It's so small. Hence why I've had to sort of like slice it off repeatedly with the Dremel. Once the head comes off, then the exhaust will come off, and then I've got a bolt stuck into the header. And that's a problem, but it's not a massive problem. Then the next step will be to drill or to cut a slot into the remaining bit of the bolt, and then try, essentially with a big pair of screwdriver, a big screwdriver and something to twist it. Otherwise, the next step is to destroy it bit by bit if the screwdriver doesn't work. But once the exhaust is off, I should be able to, I can't get out. I can only get at it from 90 degrees, so I can't really
Just
apply.
make sure you're wearing eye protection.
Oh yeah, well, I wear glasses all the time. I'm always got eye protection.
Yeah, but they're not designed for protecting you against that sort of damage.
Yeah, I'm not. To be fair, though, I'm not really doing anything. That the screw extractor won't do anything. The Dremel won't do anything. It's nothing big I'm using. I do when I use the grinding disc. Oh my god, that thing is terrifying. Like you realise if you use if you use a grinding disc, you realise quite quickly if you slip, you'll be like, oh, my hand's off. Like it's that level of it won't even be like, oh, there's a bit of pressure, just like, oh shit, my hand's fuck.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make a clean cut that is like easy to fix?
Oh yes, Shalka, I'll just nip down the chemist and just get some glue. Yes, piss easy to do. No, yeah, I know what you mean. No, my point is more, it's so powerful that you wouldn't even notice. Like I did manage to hit the Dremel into my leg before, and I cut quite an interesting gouge into my leg, and you didn't even notice. It went straight through my jeans and my leg, and went, whoops. It was only very shallow. Yeah, we do have access to some quite scary tools at the arcade, and I treat them with an enormous amount of respect.
Where PPE comes
If you
in.
don't, they'll
Yeah.
make sure you do.
Well, that's why you have PPE. That's
Well-
the whole point of PPE.
Well, this is the thing, Tad. They let me use the power tools unsupervised. I know.
Are you trained
Oh,
and competent?
need to be.
Well, you know what to do with the tools.
You'll
you
figure it
can.
out one way or the other.
No, and yes, respectively, I think. When you think about the grinder, I don't like. When you turn it on, it just goes. There's no wind up. It goes from nothing to full wax. You're holding it, you turn it on, and the whole tool will jolt 10 or 15 degrees in your hand before you can start to correct for its spin. I don't know why it doesn't work.
That's a bit of an old one.
No. Brand new.
Isn't
But-
this normal?
Well, if it span up to speed, it means that I could apply pressure as it span up. But it spins,
counter it,
yeah, but it spins up so quickly it goes, what?
Great to
Yeah,
compensate for what it's doing. Yeah.
and I can't pre-compensate because then I'll just bend it the other way. But most of the other tools, fun. You know, we've got a big press drill and a bandsaw and circular saw and things. But I have very little fear, but a lot of respect. Story of my life, really.
That's the key.
But you don't have a magic trick then, Tad, for getting
For,
bolts out.
Happen die sets and hatred.
Oh, so that's to make a new screw hole, though, isn't it? Like a new thread. Yeah, I'm hoping not to go to... I really don't want to start tapping a new fucking thread in my cylinder blocks.
Nobody does.
No, I really don't want to.
Yeah, nobody does. That's miserable.
But yeah, I'm hoping then that I can... So the first thing I'll do would be to cut a slot in the outside of the screw once the head's off. And hopefully just get a screwdriver and just lever it. But I just couldn't... I managed to get a long Allen key in there. It was an expensive Allen key as well. And then attached a spanner to that. But the entire Allen key was bending rather than applying enough torque because it was just too long. And then all the shorter ones, I couldn't get the leverage on. So I think I'll be able to cut a slot in it. I'm just not sure what I'm going to lever it with. I can't imagine what I would need. Something, 2-3 millimeters thick, a foot long, and incredibly strong.
Can I ask the obvious question? Maybe not obvious. I don't know much about Silver. Is there no sort of stripping down needed to get that area more accessible?
No. Well, yeah. The exhaust has to come off to make that bit more accessible, but that's the bit that holds the exhaust on. So I did kind of scratch my head and look at it going, no one thought this through.
Huh? Yeah. Engineers are interesting people.
I mean, it's got the bare minimum amount of room. That's the issue.
Yep.
Like I've got all the tools. I have a 1/4 inch. No, I've got a 1/4 inch torque wrench, a 1/2 inch torque wrench. I don't know why they're in inches. I have a impact hammer. None of these tools are useful. The only tool I could get in there was a very small Allen key. Like I couldn't even get. So I've got a torque wrench with a 90 degree. That doesn't fit. A torque wrench with a twiddly bit adapter, which kind of fits in theory, but mostly didn't. Like it fit, but what actually happened is I just couldn't spin it. But yeah, it's been an absolute bitch. Hence why I'm whining to you guys today about it.
Understandable.
But yeah, it does. Well, it's always interesting, and I've said this many times to people. If I have one piece of advice for young people, get one good set of tools, just one, and good. Because what happened is I started off with Allen key. I got loads of Allen keys that come free with stuff. So I started with one of those. I mean, the Allen key lasted about 4 seconds. Put it in, bend it, nothing happened. Stick a spanner on, pull it. The Allen key just rounds like straight away. So I had a good Allen key, and that one, I said it was just bending. But yeah, don't. Cheap tools are definitely as long as you don't mind getting through them.
Force economy.
Yes. I have a lovely set of Draper screwdrivers. They're really good. I've had them for years. They're nice removable and twiddleable. Yeah, I did buy an expensive set of Allen keys. Well, a 20 quid set of Allen keys yesterday. But unfortunately the inside of the bolt's gone. So I couldn't even get in there. I wonder if I should start. Ah, yes. Great Jesborn Woods wouldn't let me upgrade this to Monorail.
What a bunch of jerks.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's very annoying. I just deleted a bit of normal railway line in order to make it into monorail. I'm not allowed to build the station back. Alright, I shall let Great Jesborn Woods sulk then. And build some monorail stuffs. There we go.
Oh, bugger.
Uh-oh. Don't say that.
A farm disappeared
Oh.
on my route where I'm servicing it with one Gordon going round once because it's too expensive to put 2 Gordons on. Godfield Holt is now nothing. Why does it do that when it knows you're servicing it, I wonder?
Why does it do it when no one's servicing it?
No, why does it do it when you are servicing it?
So there are a number of reasons it can go bust, but there's kind of a percentage chance that when it's production rate goes down, that instead it goes bust. Like when it gets below a certain amount. But as long as you're servicing it well, the odds are that it will go up, but it's not guaranteed to go up at all.
Might be tempted to clone Gordon, but for the benefit, I'm not sure it's worth it.
Okay, so that's out, and this is back.
I might have to put more. There are more farms I could put into it, incorporate into the route to make it more. You know, collect more grain. So I think I may have to do. How much did it cost to clone that one? £438,000, please. Bloody hell.
Oh, now we are short on money again.
Oh, because I spent £438,000.
That did it.
Yep.
Okay, so this is out, so let me put some signals on, so I don't forget. So that's I don't have enough money for signals. We are making money.
£2,000 to blow up a station. Bloody hell. Okay, fine. Let's not blow it up then.
Well, as long as I build my railway track or my monorail line slowly, we should make more money than I'm spending.
That's one of the things I never really understood, how you got a train to go to service enough stations nicely, because
You don't. Just don't. You can do it with complex scheduling and stuff, but it's not worth it.
yeah,
Because
just keep going round and round and round sort of thing.
yeah, no, I mean, really, you almost never want to do anything other than one. So train, you want to go from A to B. If you make your train go A, B, C, D, guaranteed that A, it will pick up 10 units at A and then fuck off around its big route. Then A will fill up while it's gone, so your rating goes down. And then you've got the issue that by the time you get to C, you're full. And then you've got a situation that you're trying to then balance 3 or 4 trains on the line. Just basically.
Just make them service one station
Make
only,
it- yeah.
and then return round.
Yeah.
Go
Buses.
straight through in that case.
Yeah, buses are a bit different because buses you can kind of do it with, but yeah, it just doesn't really work. I said you can do it with scheduling and stuff, but that's the sort of thing that the only reason you would ever do that is if you're playing on an incredibly mean difficulty level, where you just didn't have the money to go building extra vehicles. Wow, I am burning through the monies here. But great, our goods destination, I forgot the name of it now, Great Ginsingburg Woods, now has a monorail station. I'm beginning to connect it up. I would actually like to find out the story of Carrier Command as well, because Bohemia and Interactive, the Flashpoint guys, bought up the license. I know this because they bought it, and a friend of mine was working on a open source remake, and he got told to stop. But this isn't Bohemia Interactive. This is another company entirely. And I'm curious whether, if they bought the license, because they've also done another Microprose game called High Flight, which is another fleet management game. And everyone's like, oh, Carrier Command's not as good as High Flight. And I had a look, and I was like, oh, that does look good, single player. I'm like, well, whatever. I'd also like to look at the new... So there's been a new update to X-Wing, not Squadrons, X-Wing.
Really?
Which brings all of the graphics up to state of the art. It's basically this enormous patch has just dropped that just makes it all modern. But that means we could actually play missions, because X-Wing vs. TIE had loads of cool missions, and there are thousands of fan-made missions out there, because obviously people have been making them for the last 20 odd years. But I need to spend some time to actually look into that, because it does take quite a lot of time to sort of evaluate whether something is, playable or how much work it's going to be. I did like Squadrons, but it was just the lack of... The fact there were only really 2 modes was a bit saddening. And just the sheer amount of exploitation. To be honest, it was a bit too battlefieldy, I guess, the regular mode. Because the original X-Wing would have you, scan all these... you start off with the routine mission, scan all these freighters, and then one of them would end up with rebels on board. And then you would call in defenses, and then the missions would evolve and change, and they were interesting and fun. Whereas what we've got is this sort of tug of war, and that's it. Don't get me wrong, it's not that it's bad; it's just that that's all we got was the tug of war.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try one of these new vehicles.
I am interested in soloing another carrier for PvP in Carrier Command.
I think that would be brief and horrible. For you.
Brief is fine. And horrible for me is also fine.
I think the main... I mean, I don't know whether you have enough fuel to go there. Apparently it will support up to 4 carriers. Whether it does that right now, I don't know, but I think that might be a...
How many people would be required to drive 4 carriers?
4.
4.
Could you, in
Insanity.
theory, go sort of cooperative, like one of the, or 3 of the carriers are just cleaning the islands up, and 1 carrier is legit taking them?
Well, that's the point, yeah. So if you lost 1 carrier, could you transfer over to the other one?
Well, hold on. So what's... How do you win this?
Well...
2 carriers on one side, or are they 2 carriers on separate sides?
Yeah, I mean, you could just have 2 carriers that don't shoot each other, sure, but how do you win this hypothetical scenario? Is this just practicing taking over the islands?
Making it easier for the 1 carrier.
Yeah, true. But easier to... How do you win? What's the win? What's the win condition?
Taking out the AI carrier?
Oh, so you want 3 human carriers and an AI carrier?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's mostly us that's the limiting factor. With a little bit of the barge, which I suspect will go away as we get multiple barges going. Later on, again, basing this on the original, the enemy carrier will start to do sorties into our base. What do you mean Train 24 is lost? No, you're not. Great Jesburn Woods. Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. I forgot to connect it up.
Well, anyway, it's now too rather late for me.
Okay.
So I'll be out.
I hope to see you again very soon.
Yeah, my company looks okay, so should be able to go AFK again.
Awesome. Well, we'll see
Can one of
you.
us join and fuck it?
No, I mean, I guess we'll see you again on
Next week.
Friday.
Why?
Carry Command 2.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I hope so. See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Peace out. Bye, bro.
Do we want to put Scrap Mechanic on Saturday rather than do Carry Command? Scrap Yard Mechanic. Or is it Scrap Mechanic? It's Scrap Mechanic, isn't it?
Scrap mechanic. Yeah.
Scrap mechanic.
Not Scrapyard Mechanic. That's something else.
Yes.
At least until freaking SnowRunner decides it wants people to play it again.
I'm really annoyed about that. I was really enjoying. I love SnowRunner, even if it does feel like we spend a huge amount of time and don't achieve very much. I really like it, and just this sort of and then you just keep getting kicked out. The problem is with that game more than anything else we play. If it goes wrong, we lose so much time.
Yes. That's
Yep.
the kick in the guts you don't really need.
Yeah. Oh, so you weren't using my vehicle. Oh, right. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't have that one. Okay.
Sucks to be you.
Oh, right. See you in 40 minutes. Brilliant.
So it's fine to roll the rock upwards multiple hours, but the moment it goes downwards, then it's
Well,
game over.
my goal is to get the rock to the top, preferably without screwing it up.
I do wonder what a game with like actual negative progress could be made like faster. In theory, you could have forward progress much easier if you have an expectation of backward progress. I don't think players are like so excited about that. But they like overreact to negative progress.
Well, the problem is with Carry Command, it's not negative progress. It's if we get kicked out, whatever. I've played the game for 3 hours. I've got 3 hours older, and what have we achieved? Tad and Max and Malcolm brought a whole shit ton of stuff over an hour and a half journey, and then the game crashed, and we've achieved nothing.
Right, when it's not even in the game design, but just
Yeah.
the technicalities.
No, their networking code is their game design, and it's lacking.
That's very kind of you.
What else can you say?
Yeah, but you could be really mean and disparaging.
I guess. Man, there is no freaking place to make steel anywhere near my little
Well, that's the point, isn't it? You take it far,
Trade
far
hub
away and
and-
you get more money.
gross. But it takes more time.
Of course.
Time is money.
Fuck is funny. Fuck yourself and save the money.
Mm. Oh, never mind. The iron ore quarry disappeared. Don't gotta worry about that no more.
I've just spent lots of money building trees, and now they only think we're very poor.
Oh dear. How could you?
So mean.
Oh, come on, they won't even let me do a 1x1 platform.
What?
Like, I've got a 1x1 train, and I can't I can't build any more. There's nowhere else I can build trees that counts as this local authority.
Oh, so they just don't like you. At all.
I've just spent more trees. What on earth, guys? What do they think of me now? Very poor still. I don't know why we're very poor. It just says passengers poor. I'm like If you'd let me build another fucking train, lads, that'll solve the issue.
Can't you convert stations rather than delete them and put them back in?
I tried and it broke.
Oh.
It converted it from railway line to railway type to just railway line. And I was like, I don't know why that's the case.
Blow you up, Mr. House. You won't allow me to do that, you bastard. I'm only just gonna blow up his house. It's fine.
You're barred.
Stop spending my money.
What?
I assume
You're
it's you.
not bloody getting a loan again, are you?
Well, I have to because I need to clone a train and there are a million a go.
900,000.
They're very
bloody hell.
freaking expensive.
Yeah, that's a bit of a cripple in this game, isn't it?
Well,
What?
it's to make you think.
I don't want to think. I just want to put trains on and watch them go. Wee, wee.
Well, to be fair, our maximum loan is 4 and a bit million now.
Yeah, that's quite large. But that's its game balance. But if that was the case, they should make the trains stay not falling apart a little bit longer than they are.
Yeah.
Because they're using the same stock or vanilla
To be fair, what it's still
cave mechanics.
it's still suffering from the usual transport tycoon problem. The moment you've cracked it, it's just an escalating run towards infinite money.
I like money.
But yeah, we are making. What are we making?
Money.
Operating profit of about 4 million a year. 2 million a year.
Wow.
That's 2 new trains a year.
Doesn't sound like much when you say it like that.
It's quite a lot of trains. But I'm now moving towards monorails. As soon as they let me build one. Hence why I've just built another nice shiny new train that will hopefully bump our ratings up. Yeah, so I have a monorail here, and it's just sitting there bonking back and forwards going, I haven't got a... I can't get to the station. I mean, the fact that...
Oh my god, the station's not there.
The station's not there yet, yeah. The fact that the station is there, but it's the wrong type of station. That didn't seem to stop the train setting off on its journey. Not too bright.
Odd.
I'll start now. The station will be definitely finished by the time I get there.
Just-in-time architecture.
There is a game like that, a VR one, where the VR player has to put down bits of track like a Scalextric set, and the people are racing along the track. I can't remember the name of it.
Wow, I spent $1 million last year.
I wonder how rich you'd have to be to have a real railway to play with.
What do you mean by railway?
Like a railway.
Well, okay, but like what, 10 feet of track? What?
No, proper full size, double O gauge.
Double O gauge?
Normal gauge, no.
Double O gauge is model railway gauge, Max.
Okay, whatever. Normal railway. That's what I said. Normal railway.
Yeah.
Normal railway.
So UK railway gauges, brilliant. 4 for 8.5 inch gauge. Brilliant. The thing is, you're not allowed to build railways because not George Lucas. What's his face? Virgin guy, Richard Branson, tried to build his own railway. He said he'll build a railway from London to Manchester, and the UK government wouldn't let him. It's like, right, obviously he'd have to purchase everything up on the way and all that, but they just wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wow, I was like, I just googled, buying a train, and it's trying to sell me a Hornby model railway set, 7 cars, 2 trains, 530 quid. No,
Fancy.
Yeah.
I used to have that, and it sure as hell wasn't worth 530 quid. Oh my god, Hornby is expensive. Here we go. Locomotivesforsale.com. What would you like, Max?
One that goes choo-choo, I don't know.
Oh,
Should I go for electric because it's more environmentally friendly?
oh, come on, you need to tell me how much it's worth. Sales inquiry, inquire now. Give me a clue. Oh man, these are
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
standard gauge 200 kilometer diesel train sets.
Wait, it actually uses diesel?
No, 200 kilometer an hour. Holy shit! This is literally a train for sale. I'm not sure when it says train set, it doesn't mean model train set. It means a set of trains. Oh wow! Yeah.
Market's rough.
Come on, Max. Let's buy our own train, man. Like properly, buy a train.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no prices. They're by Pininfarina and it has seating capacity of 204.
Yeah, I want to change that. Got to deck it out with VR, man. Got my own playroom in there. No, let's stand as shit in my train, thank you very much.
Oh well, these are British trains. It's a DMU, yeah.
Right.
In fact, yeah, come back. It's old National Express loco trains for sale. Yeah, there you go, and it's electric.
Now I want to buy those really cheap ones that look like buses that be converted to trains.
So I guess the idea is that if you're National Rail, you would buy it off National Express or whatever. I want to know how much these go for. I mean, I've no idea if this is 10 grand, 100 grand, or £1 million. I've just no clue. But yeah, I'm tempted to just click on inquire now. Oh, they actually want to know my company. How did you hear of us? I googled.
I never understood that. I'm like, why do you care where you heard about me?
It depends if their marketing's working.
Yeah, no. No market works. Just,
Here we go. Bodmin Railway are selling a train. Sale by sealed bid. They've emailed to arrange a viewing. You can't just do that because I have no idea. You can't just say bid on it. Like, I don't know if this is worth £1 or £1 million.
That's the idea.
throw your pound in there.
I think it's
Yeah,
a
man.
bit late. Come on, I must be able to work out how much it costs to buy a real train. I have to say though, buying toy trains is so expensive. I suspect it's not going to So this is a 1 gauge train. So that's 1 inch, 1 inch track, and this loco is £2,500. Can you own a train in the UK? Yes. Oh, Max, you can keep a private train on public railways. You just have to plan your routes and stuff. I have to say. Okay, so a second-hand diesel loco will set you back between 1 and 2 million.
Ooh.
That's chump change.
Plus the running costs.
Nah.
Well, a carriage will cost you about 1.6 million, but they do last about 30 years.
Before what?
That,
Rot sets in.
yeah, before they're knackered.
massive engine overhauling, which is more expensive
On a
than it has
carriage?
any right to be.
On a carriage.
Not the carriage. No, the carriage. That's just how long they.
Servicing, I suppose.
But if you'd like a 10 class 08 shunter, you could pick one up for 20 grand.
Oh, lovely.
I have to say that's the worst possible picture ever, but I will pop it in. So there you go. We can get all we need now. I'm not looking at how much buying railway track is. I think the goal would be to keep it on a private railway, and just
Why?
20 grand each for those, Max.
Oh yeah.
It may require some maintenance.
Yeah.
Some.
I'm not sure what train diesel engines are equated to as far as like maritime diesel engines, other than I'm sure train diesel is a little less dirty than maritime diesel.
Oh wow, we don't get any diesel-only trains now. Oh my god. So you know how the UK government, shockingly, is doing an excellent job of pushing EV in the UK? Really surprisingly good, world-leading. The UK government announced that diesel-only trains will be phased out by 2040.
Yeah, because that's not down to the UK, it's down to Cardiff and Wales, places like that. Because I think
Trains
there's only
are
a couple
still
of trains.
hella efficient.
Yeah.
Bear in mind that they've probably invested in them, they need to be able to get their money
Yeah.
on the investment.
Surely, yeah, but that's pure diesel.
I think they use them as Wales, I think, because if you go to Brighton, for example, there's always just one train that goes, basically because Wales is not electrified yet. They've got electrified Wales.
Yeah, but surely diesel electric is your first step, and then from diesel electric, all you need is a
Diesel
pantograph.
electric is just a diesel engine pushing a generator,
Which is
That's literally the
Yeah,
difference.
but that's more efficient than running it directly. But that means that
Fair enough.
it's then only a small step to get rid of the diesel engine and pop a pantograph on.
Fair enough.
And the infrastructure.
Yeah, well, that's about the pantograph. Yeah, not literally the pantograph. I mean, yeah, the overhead lines.
Yeah. But in round here, we don't have, we have the third rail, don't we? And a shoe.
So only 42% of the UK's railway network is currently electrified.
42.
42%.
Oh, it must be us lucky rich people down the south here getting the electrics.
Wow. I love articles not written by people who understand things. Talking about using lithium-ion batteries, and then they're like, however, the batteries would need to be huge to match the performance requirements of a diesel locomotive. So once a loco's because once a locomotive is up to speed, it uses almost no energy at all. So this is the reason you use trains, because you're on you're using steel wheels and steel railway lines, and there's almost no friction. There's almost no rolling friction on a train. So if you turn the engines off, you coast for miles. So that means that you use a bunch of electricity getting up to speed, and then you have to come to a halt, and you regain all the energy via regenerative braking. You actually need very little, and then you dump in any excess electricity when the train stops. There's a train in Australia, and the entire the roof of the train's covered in panels, and it only goes between two stations, and both of those have got panels on, and the train just goes back and forwards. And they said that it's something silly like 98% of the energy is recovered, and then they offload all the rest of the electricity to the grid, because they said they've just it was an experiment, and they just said we just use way less electricity than we thought, and regenerative braking is really, really good.
Especially on something as big as a train.
Well, it's the lack of rolling friction and the fact that the front of a train is very small. You know, the cross section of a train is very small compared to its mass. So relatively speaking, it has very little wind resistance.
Do trains have like special wheels, or where does the frictionlessness come from?
It's steel.
Steel on steel.
Yeah, steel's not very...
Steel is smooth.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah, well...
Yep.
if you compare it to, you know, rubber. Oh, hey, Ronaldo Green, how are you? So yeah, normally you've got rubber, because you need to go around corners, and rubber has a lot of friction, very, very high rolling friction, very, very high static friction. Steel, on the other hand, doesn't. The drawback is, if you try and stop a train quickly, well, it doesn't. You can't stop a train quickly. It just slides. But yeah, because of that, once you're up to speed, you just roll. It just rolls for miles and miles and miles.
Apart from hills, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, assuming your journey is on average,
Go down the other.
yeah, assuming your journey is on average flat, it bears out.
So after 2040, they see me rolling and try to catch me riding dirty.
Absolutely. Well, if they catch you riding dirty, you're in trouble.
So this experiment, it proved that it was worth doing, and yet it's been adopted how far around the world? Or where else has it been adopted
Well,
apart from this experiment?
So the thing is, every time anyone talks about electric vehicles, you just get all the same crap touted out. Oh, what happens? They catch fire. What about the minerals? The grid can't cope. It's this bizarre Luddite sort of.
Misinformed, I think, is the correct term.
Well, they're not even misinformed. I've seen people actively make stuff up.
They don't understand the statistics. The people don't have those statistics to hand, which is why they're saying, "What about dot dot dot?" You know,
Yeah. Well,
the grid. You, know, you don't run the grid. What the fuck do you care? You know.
Yeah.
If you plug your kettle in, you go, "Oh my god, the grid." You know, or what about your electric car? You don't think about the grid. You just buy the thing and.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Except.
Oh, do I have to phone my electricity supplier so I get permission to have a car?
Yeah. Exactly. You don't give a shit, but suddenly people do because they want to argue on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've seen that.
But people have got. It's not sufficiently in the public consciousness to understand it fully, I would suggest. The grid being able to supply our needs, you know, all the time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the National Grid say it's fine, so I don't. And the National Grid have also done a bunch of press announcements saying, more or less, can you guys stop saying this on social media, because we've done our analysis. We analysed the National Grid 30 years in advance. It's fine. Can you shut up about it? Ronaldo, we're talking about electric trains of the future. So I think I'm not sure I did mention this. So wonderful little bit of maths for you. So one of the big changes with cars and the future and the grid will be what's called vehicle to grid. So.
Oh, it's two-way sort of charging.
It's two-way. So I've been looking at one, and I need to do, you know, how much it's worth and all that. And there's something by a company called My Energy that do a thing called a Zappy. And what that does is it manages your house's electricity. So, say first thing in the morning when electricity is cheap, you start to charge up your electric car, and you start to charge up your house battery or whatever you've got. And then when the electricity gets expensive at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you start to then use the charge from your electric car and your house battery. So it balances it out. And to cook your dinner, yeah. So it balances, but you would cook your dinner off your electric car, not off the grid, because it's much cheaper, because you've basically bought electricity cheap. And so Robert Llewellyn was saying that he couldn't work out why, but his hot water was on, and that's because his battery, his house battery was full, his car battery was full, and the sun was shining, so it pumped the electricity into turning on his immersion heater, because you might as well, otherwise, you know, the electricity has gone to waste. So imagine if you've got a system like that, and this is the great bit. Imagine that there are 10 million electric vehicles in the UK, because it's a nice easy number. How many cars are in the UK? How many vehicles in the UK?
60 million?
No, remember remember, you don't forget fleet vehicles. So
Double, 120 million.
Let's say 50 million, but a quick Google shows about 50 million. So let's say there's 10 million electric vehicles, and they all do vehicle to grid. If you tap 7 kilowatts for 1 hour off every vehicle, that equates to about 5 miles of range, 8 miles of range. That gives you 70 terawatts of energy for 1 hour. And so far, do you want to have a guess what the peak UK electricity usage was ever?
It's only in the megawatt range, isn't it?
63.
Yeah.
63. So this means if you had a car, if you had 10 million car batteries basically on the grid, and they've all got a nominal 300-mile range, you could run the entire national grid of car batteries for 50 hours. This is not a small amount of energy we're talking. But with our national grid has to cope with that 6 o'clock surge. So our national grid, our power generation infrastructure is somewhere in the region of 10 times bigger than it needs to be, because we need to deal with the spikes. And once we have enough battery storage, all those spikes will be smoothed away. Facts.
Yeah, I mean,
Maths.
the problem with electricity is it's a use now product, and storing it is very difficult.
Yeah. Well, that
Not too difficult, but it's in enough quantities.
Yeah. Well,
Enough quantities.
yeah. Hence why this is.
If you had one in every house, though, if you had your house had a UPS,
Yeah. Well, you do. I mean,
Well,
this is the thing. I mean, 10 million electric cars is not a lot of cars. I mean, that's what we'll have on the roads.
But
fairly soon.
the real issue is car to grid. It's the car to grid thing.
Vehicle to
Because
grid.
Vehicle grid would be basically it's the same as. I'm going to equate this to solar panels. I don't know if it's correct or not, but solar panels, when the sun's shining and you're using electricity, great. When the solar panels are on generating and you don't need any energy, you sell it to the national grid. But the grid isn't really geared up for your house to feed in electricity into the grid. They have to sort of, I don't know what this silly buggery to make it possible.
With the solar panels, you're right. There is silly buggery. With electric cars, they're not, because electric cars are kind of just part of the grid.
But it's not two-way, is it? You have to charge the car and then take some out.
It's trivial to make electric cars two-way, unlike solar energy, which is not trivial.
Right. Oh, because you need a sort of, I don't know.
And there's a guy called Technology Connections on YouTube that does great nerdy videos. He's got a great.
He's the person that convinced me to buy an aircon unit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But if you he does a video on basically vehicle to grid stuff, and he's like, here's how it works. Like
America, though, isn't it? It's American. Canadian.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Because thankfully the chargers are standard. But the point he was making is that it's more like a light switch. Because light switches are always on. You just, you've got multiple they're always on, and you just basically tap off the electricity to make the light bulb come on. And he goes, electric cars are kind of like that. Like, it already is all there. Now, bear in mind, I don't personally think that vehicle to grid is the future for domestic, but for fleet. Yeah, because they don't do anything most of the night.
I think our company has a couple of cars that are just sat there most of the time doing not a lot.
Yeah.
And that could be, great. Let's use it as, the system knows that's sat there for 90% of the time, and with a little bit of forward thinking, you can go, right, I need to book this for, Wednesday next week or whatever. I want to go for a journey that's going to be 50 miles or whatever. Please please let the battery be usable on that day.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, it's like, right, I'm going to drain it flat the rest of the time, or make best use of it or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, more or less what it would do is it would make sure all of your cars are fully charged by 9 in the morning. But as I said, the thing that people don't see, you always get the same one. Oh, how far does the electric car go when you have the windscreen wipers on? Do you think windscreen wipers use a lot of electricity?
What?
Or the lights? Or the aircon? That's the thing about the aircon. So
I had this argument before about petrol. I'm like, it doesn't use that much energy. I have the aircon on every single time my car starts. It's just there. It's on.
I mean, it does tap. It does. If you've got a good car, like an expensive one, you can watch the fuel usage go up. But in the Impreza, it's quite funny. The revs go up when I turn on the aircon. It idles a bit more. But yeah, so you've got a 2.5 kilowatt aircon unit, I think you said, right? Let's assume, for sake of argument, that a car has a 1 kilowatt aircon because it's smaller. Let's just say it's 1 kilowatt.
Yeah.
That means that a Tesla 3 can run an aircon unit for 79 hours. I think you're going to run out of battery. So that equates to 285 miles of range. So this is the fun bit. Is what people haven't really realised is the insane amount of energy it takes to speed a car up from stopped to 100 miles an hour. It's enormous amounts of energy. You just don't realise it because you're used to put your foot down and your petrol car, and the needle goes down a little bit. But yeah, I keep seeing the same thing over again. It's brilliant. Going, what happens with the windscreen wipers on? Like, the fuck? Did your feeble brain go, that's electric motor in those windscreen wipers? That must use up engine. Yes, that'll use up loads of range. It won't. If you, I had a very mild dig at my Impreza garage because they shared an article saying, if you're on an electric car and there's in the snow, like a big snowdrift, and the roads are blocked, you'll freeze to death overnight. And I was like, how long do you think my Impreza can idle for overnight? Like, it's only a few hours and I'm going to be out of fuel. Whereas my Tesla, as I just said, can go for 79 hours without running out of juice. Basically, people are idiots.
Random question.
Yes. It's about electric cars or trains?
Is the monorails, are they still only just passenger?
Oh, I haven't checked about the new ones.
Well, it says refittable, but is it actually refittable, or is it all just still passengers?
Refrittable? It's not a real word, Tap.
Yours.
Well,
Refritterable.
let me check. Just passengers.
Lame.
So I've got.
Why does it say refittable?
Because you can refit it to passengers. Or passengers. Or passengers.
Yeah.
This isn't working. I think I need some guidance.
The other thing I was talking about house batteries, which interests me, is a house battery is expensive, and a good house battery is the equivalent to a really, really shit electric car. So you can skip the house battery, and then you can save money by having. Well, you can have a house battery that is an electric car and never goes anywhere.
Oh, I see. Yeah, don't drive it.
Don't drive it. You just do around. Yeah, because Wellen was saying that with his automatic management and solar panels, his electricity bill is down to like 10 quid a month. And I'm like, okay, now I'm interested because mine's a lot more than that. The same thing, upfront cost that will lead to reduced costs later on.
Somebody could have a business plan of buying it for the energy storage and then selling it to the transportation market.
Yes. Yeah, buy up old Nissan Leafs and do that. Absolutely. Yeah, park them somewhere. Well, I mean, that's what they do. So Nissan will buy back Nissan Leafs at the end of their lifespan, and then they use the batteries in hospitals as UPSs for free. They just they don't know what to do with them. They've got this situation that all of the Nissan Leafs lasted way longer than anyone expected. Like massively, massively longer. Because that's the other thing he's saying. Oh, in 3 years' time, you'll have to get a new car because the battery's worn out. Crap like this. So the Nissan Leafs, which were the first ones, and they were bad. They didn't have thermal management. They were awful, awful cars. But the battery's the bit that hasn't worn out. The suspension's gone. The wheel bearings are gone. The wishbones are gone. But the battery, that bit's absolutely just hey-ho, pip and dandy. So yeah, they basically take them out the cars, pop them in hospitals, and use them as free UPS.
If you kept it as a house battery, then those parts would not wear out, right?
This is true. But you could buy up a Nissan Leaf that doesn't go very well anymore and use it as a house battery.
Well, from transportation to house battery.
Sorry, Max, can you please do me a favour? Can you look at Pip and Emma? Just Pip and Emma.
Okay.
I'm a little bit confused.
Bring up now.
What is Pip and Emma's status, please?
I'm waiting for free par. They're trying to go. Someone's pressed the button, haven't they?
No, they're trying to go into the depot. Oh, I was hoping you'd have something better than... Right.
They are, yes, they are listed as being in the depot as well. So if we just tell them to reverse, what that do? Oh, in you go, silly cow.
What the hell?
I was told it to reverse in and out. Just press the
Turn around.
reverse direction twice.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
thoroughly? I've no idea what that was. That could have been a bug.
Did you use just and button in the same sentence?
Well, you can just press the button. It is easy to press the button. The bad thing about just is the trivializing of complex tasks.
Yes, the problem there is that service station needs to be about another foot away from the line.
Yeah,
Stop using it as
I'm
servicing.
actually just fixing that now.
Okay, fine.
So that means that trains that want to service will come onto this line.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do something clever over here.
Uh-oh. Max, I've warned you about that. Know your limits.
I'll never play this game again. And I've got 3 trains. They just sit there waiting for grain most of the time, and they don't make any money.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit concerned. That's stupid.
I mean, or you could... So sometimes you have to just use trains as a loss leader. So all the trains are there for is to grow your station's rating.
Well, they're growing my factory.
Yeah, and yeah.
The grain goes to the factory.
I mean, that's the other thing. You want the overall network to make a profit, not necessarily everything on it. Ideally, but not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, the policy I've gone is go full, get the train to the station, full load there.
Yep.
So in theory, we'll at least get a train's worth of goods.
Yes.
Sorry, grain from it to the factory.
Yep.
And then from the factory, then they have to go round the loop,
Yeah.
get themselves serviced, and come back.
I mean, I can see Tilly Factory has 1 goods train and 3 grain trains. I mean, the goods train made good money last year, 70 grand.
Okay.
Drodfield Grain made 30 grand. Tilly Grain. So the thing is, Tilly Grain and Tradingbury Grain, they aren't very.
Tradingbury grain's brand new.
Yeah, so Tradingbury Farm only makes 18 tons of grain a month, but you're doing 90% of that. You just got to wait. Tilly Farm, 40 tons of grain a month, 63% transported. But yeah, I mean, you sometimes you just go, it's set up, it works, leave it, come back in a couple of years.
Yeah. I was going to just basically expand it, but it costs like 400,000 every time we do it to buy another Gordon. Like Gordon's not making us money back very quickly. There's more farms down to the southeast here. I'm going to tap them up one at a time. The trick is to get the train bought, get the line there, then at the last minute put the station down, and then hook it all up and get the train there a bit quick smart.
Yeah, I think what you've done is fine. You've just said you just got to be patient now, unfortunately, which I know is not in your nature, but I believe that you can overcome this.
But
I don't want to. Yeah, completely. Yeah, it is. No. So damn you. I want to bother putting this way off the track here, but I know they all go in there anyway, so that's a bit stupid. I'm going to improve this by making them... Some of the trains don't need to go all the way back to Livinus Ridge West. I'm going to make them go straight across.
What is this oil train doing? It is taking every route it can other than the fastest route.
Well, I put it to you then that you've fucked it up somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to just leave the game watching that train. I'm going to go and grab a drink. Tilly Grain, by the way, has an invalid order, a void order. So I shall be back in a moment.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, Dora? What? What is the meowing for? bed yet. Soon. Yeah, I did have a train jam though because Pip and Emma screwed up our network for a while, so we have lots and lots and lots of full stations.
For oil. Oh, I love it.
Biscuits.
Ah.
Why biscuits, I hear you ask? Because I'm worth it.
Oh. Makes sense to me. Ship number 1 has a void order. Ah, shit. That is unfortunate.
I think my networking is in a good state. I think I'm gonna leave it tick for a while.
Okie dokie. I find this game, I do find this game very relaxing though. Just watch the trains. As long when it's all working anyway.
No. My canal is still doing great. I like that. This is much more relaxing than the Wasteland mod.
So, Max, note that Goodies 2 has just pulled in and fully loaded. So it's not full and you're out of goods. So your limiting factor is the amount of things you're bringing to the factory, not the amount you're taking away from the factory.
Yes.
So if you
Grain's about to pull in.
if you scroll due east though, you'll notice a steel mill.
A steel mill. Yes.
And then you go due east, you notice an iron ore mine.
Yeah.
Is that Providence?
They just built that. That's why that just turned up. That's a little fiddlier though, isn't it? Oh, not a steel mill to the factory. Oh, I see. Dink, dink, dink. Oh, I see.
It's actually
yes. That's
now
a bit tricky, but yes.
Well, the thing is, I was like, I'll do it, but I can't build any sort of monorail there, and I don't really want to build more railway line. I want to do monorail. We can only do passengers. Is the problem?
Oh.
Like passenger monorails. Right now, we can also need to do monorails that make a loss, but it's okay. Making a loss now is fine. That means, as long as we're making a profit overall, this means that the companies, the towns that we're using, will like us more. We'll grow it, and that means we are ready to expand as necessary. So sometimes being a loss leader is not a bad thing.
Yet.
You just shout
now?
Niet.
Shit.
Oh, right, okay, that makes sense. Niet!
I just built a whole system for oil, and the chemical plant that I was using fucked off.
Happens. Yeah. They're inconsiderate buggers, aren't they?
Bugger!
Arse!
That is very unfortunate. Is it worth fucking with? Yeah, fuck it.
I wish you could see a preview of when trains were coming, though. I know you get the year's free usage, but I don't know how long before a new monorail set. No, not. Literally, it's called a new monorail set. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll get an oil tanker in 2008, apparently. Which is great.
Ooh, nice. The oil tankers are a good thing.
So apparently, this might be a different version of the mod, but this one tries to give you monorails all the way back. We've had monorails for a long time.
Yeah, but it's only for passengers.
No. We've had monorails since like the 1890s.
Yeah.
Dora.
Someone's doing oil things.
Ah, here we go. So I can see some of it, but not when.
This train is carrying one passenger.
Like Jeff Bezos. Like really super expensive, like high.
Oh, I
You know,
don't know.
It's just his own
probably
train.
paying a lot of money to be on it. It's my train to have the whole thing. It's mine.
But going back, it has almost fully loaded passengers. Good googly moogly.
A googly woogly.
I wonder if I can see when this is from.
Right, I'm buying more Gordons.
Gordon!
Bugger!
That's
Iron
all.
ore hoppers. How long should I make the train, by the way? Just that minute before I spend all our money.
6.5, because then you can upgrade to a dual header later.
There are.
For iron ore.
I mean, although what I usually do is I usually start it with like 2, and then just keep increasing it as necessary.
Right.
Alright, down to 1.5 million loan. Jesus.
Yeah, I can't actually tell if this monorail set might be about a decade old. It's been abandoned. I can't actually tell.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
This is gonna be my next little oil system. Because they don't like it if you just bring them goods. They want other stuff too.
Who do? Who don't?
The little towns.
They don't care.
Yeah.
It's
Because
not-
all I do is give them goods, and I'm still like atrocious with them. Like
That's not
people
what.
want to move, I guess.
That's not what causes. I don't think you can actually gain any stuff by. It's to do with the age of the train, the speed of the train, and how many things are waiting. I really wish it would break it down in game a bit more. Which station, Tad?
All of them. The
Okay.
2 I have for towns, just they hate my guts. They always have.
Tacum?
But
Takum?
we'll go with Taddingbury.
Taddingbury, let's have a look. So Taddingbury's rating, Taddingbury's never been used, so that probably doesn't help.
What?
You've only delivered stuff to Taddingbury, never taken anything away from Taddingbury.
All it makes is passengers.
And mail, yes.
Oh.
But you've never taken anything away from that.
Yeah. I don't know where to take it. I don't know what to do with it.
Well, just take it to another town. There. Taddingbury South, on the other hand, ratings poor and poor. So that's why they don't like you. You're shit.
Or south.
Taddingbury
I'm not worried about him.
Taddingbury Valley, poor. Taddingbury Estate, mediocre and poor. I click on the station. Taddingbury Woods, poor.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I saw what you're talking about. I'm like, wait, what?
So train 6 should probably you should full load unless you have a good reason not to. Trains that are collecting should full load. It's very unusual that you'll not want them to full load. So
They'll just be sitting there, blocking up everything.
that's yes, absolutely. But if they're blocking stuff up, make another line. But train 8 should full load. Train 6 should full load. Train 7 should full load. Taddingbury Estate should be at least 3 lines. Is that enough for you to fix? Would you like me to continue?
No, you're good. Oh,
Taddingbury,
bugger around with this more.
Taddingbury transfer doesn't have signals after the input signals, so you're blocking up the whole line.
No.
Yes. Where
There's
train?
one right before the junction.
And you should have one immediately after the junction.
There is.
There isn't. There's no. There's no.
Oh,
There's,
that way. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Oh, that.
Whoops.
But yeah, when you're picking up full load for a number of reasons. Dora. How did she do? Okay, so I've got in this room. I have got 4 computers. Okay, I run one computer for most of my stuff. I have an old Windows 7 computer that does like Facebook and emails. That's the second computer, and that runs the stream chat. Then the third computer is the streaming rig. That's the one I actually capture the video and encode it, push it on the internet. So the old computer, it's a massive, massive, massive old computer with a power button at a fancy angle. So Dora likes to stand on the power button at the fancy angle. So I've duct taped on just a piece of 3D print that I had that I've just so she can't stand on it, and she keeps knocking it off on purpose.
Longer glue.
Well, no, because I need to press the button. So the duct tape means I can flip it up, press the button, and flip it back down again. But she's just walloped it off.
And delete the cat.
Not.
Then turned off your computer.
I think deleting the cat is perhaps a disproportionate response.
Extreme? A cat is going to cat. You can't stop it.
She bit me the other day because she decided she wanted to go in the garage, and I shouted and shouted. So I clapped, and she knows that clapping means she goes inside. She was well aware of that. So I clapped, and she sprinted in the other direction. So all I could do was grab her by her back legs. So I picked her up by her back legs, because I couldn't grab the scruff of her neck. So she decided to take this as an affront. So I'm holding her back legs, so she's just sort of dangling by her back legs. And she rotates upwards, rolls up and bites me. And I'm like, you little shitbag. This is not a... I'm not challenging you to a fight. I'm getting you out of here. And because you decided to hide, I couldn't grab her by the scruff of your neck. To be fair, she does realise quite quickly. When she bites me, she's like, yeah, I didn't mean that. Please don't actually disembowel me, father. And I'm like, I'm tempted. I love her, really. She's a sweetness. Apart from the biting and the destruction.
Until she wasn't.
Yeah, until she wasn't. Yeah. She's lovely until she decided to be rebellious.
Not even rebellious. Just wants your soul. And your blood. Oh god.
The problem is we've got a number of stations with issues, but every time I look at them, I look at all the trains that are having the issues, I notice that they're all just about finishing, they're coming out of a jam. So are there any games coming out that we're actually looking forwards to? Because Carrier Command was a bit of a surprise to me because I read about it on a VR forum. I was like, oh my goodness, Carrier Command. I love Carrier Command. VR, amazing. We've got Aliens Fireteam, which might be worth a look at, which is apparently, basically, Left 4 Dead. Oh, that came out 8 days ago and I haven't heard about it, so maybe not. Oh no, 24th.
Oh dear.
24th. So yeah, Fireteam Elite. So it's, imagine Left 4 Dead, but set in the Aliens universe. And all of the previews have gone, this is really good, because as we all know, the last Aliens game was not. That was a long way from good. So people are very, very leery, but apparently this is great. So remember we played Alien Squad? Alien Squad? Alien
Swarm.
Alien Swarm, yeah, that was great. But then we're like, this is going to be the same thing forever. Like there's no difference or progression or interest or variety. It's just... Whereas this might be good. I like Left 4 Dead, but the problem with Left 4 Dead, personally, and I know Schalke's just simmering when I say this, there's no progression, so I'm like, eh. So the problem I have with Left 4 Dead, you finish the level and you're like, oh, do it again. I hope it happens differently. It's kind of, But the reviews of this have so far, or previews have so far been absolutely glowing. So possibly we want to look at it. As far as I know, though, there's no games coming out that I'm actually excited about, which saddens me that the games industry isn't just full of things making me go, oh, I can't wait for that, I can't wait for this. It's just not. It's just stuff not aimed at me.
I mean, I like scrap mechanic and that genre of trying to do something flexible yet fun with engineering.
Yeah.
And I would like something a little. Well, I don't know. I like that sort of genre, if it is a genre.
Yeah.
You know, it's good fun, but I just want, you know. I don't know. I enjoy it, but I find it, you know, the resource. I like when I played in creative mode. I really enjoy myself.
Yeah. Well, let's say we with
Four vehicles.
yeah, with Trailmakers, of course, you've got the, you know, that's basically always creative. But the problem is, without restrictions, you can just immediately go, I'm building this enormous thing. The only limit is how long can you bother to spend on it. And I think that's the problem we have with Trailmakers, is after not very long, we got to the point where we were just hitting the limit of the physics. I've just made a drag car that's 50 feet long and has 100 wheels on it. So that's where... So I like the fact that scrap mechanics making us work for those things, because it means that we're not burning through the content. Which
you've got a reason to build defenses. You've got a reason to build, you know.
Yeah.
A reason for that. The challenge is sort of, you know, inherent to the game.
Yes. I would like to put so saw blades are dirt cheap though. So I would like to try making a car out of saw blades.
With the saw blade wheels?
Saw blade wheels, yeah.
Yeah, I did. When you said that, I was like, actually, that sounds pretty cool.
I'm not sure it'll drop, but if I can hit an enemy, it should kill it. I think I'd like to see scrap mechanic that, like, the next thing we have to make are really heavy things. We have to make big machines, because I think the physics hold up superbly, and I'd like to see them make you having to build more and more and more bigger and more complicated machines to deal with harder and harder challenges.
More bigger.
Just more.
La 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 la. Actually, we got Tilly Factory seems to be doing well. Sunston Mine actually has some coal at it. Where are you, Dirty Percy?
Although I am looking forward to Ministry update.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is the problem I have. What am I looking forward to? I am looking forward to the Diablo 2 re-release, and I'm like, oh, for heaven's sake, I want to be excited about new stuff. I'm excited about the character. I mean, it's more of a remake than a sequel, but it's stuff like that. Like, where are the new games?
Resurrected, yeah.
Where are the new games that I should be excited about? And this is one of the problems that I had about No Man's Sky. Is everyone's like, oh, there's not enough to do, and it's not exciting enough. I'm like, this is exactly what I want. I want a game. If I want super duper action, I'll go play Apex Legends. And there's a reason I don't play Apex Legends or Rocket League very much, because it's quite frankly exhausting. But there aren't enough, as I would describe No Man's Sky, old man games. I mean, Sean describes it as a zen-like experience, but I'm like, yes, I can sit there on my sofa and just slouch with a controller going, gonna just farm some stuff, gonna just fly my spaceship around. And there aren't enough games like that. I think Carrier Command actually has a fascinating paradigm of, God, there's nothing to do, and I wish I had 20 more people on the deck. Like, you get both manic stuff and just calm moments where you can not do stuff. But I think too many games are still reliant on... let's just say I lost my left arm somewhere. I'd like to think there are more than... I mean, what games could you play with one arm? Transport Tycoon is one of them. Because I remember I broke my arm a few years ago. I was shocked how few games I could actually play. I ended up playing a lot of idle games on iOS, on Android, on an Android box on my television with an auto-fire mouse. Going... You know what? I think there's a bit of a gap in the market for games for less able people. I don't actually know how many people haven't got full control of both arms. Quite a lot, I assume. I don't know if it's a statistically significant number. I'm not sure what I can Google. How many people have only got one arm seems How many people have only got one
Use
ball?
of one arm would be more accurate.
Yeah, but Google understand.
Google's a bro.
It's okay, bro.
Okay, Google doesn't understand. Google thinks I just care about ambidextrousness.
Eh. Oh wow, that's expensive.
I don't understand. Okay, in the US, 41,000 people are registered who have an amputation of one or more hands.
Monorail?
Yeah.
Monorail. Quickly.
Yeah, what does it do?
Oh,
I don't know. Manage
stops me
list.
from pressing the button.
It goes slightly faster. It carries a lot more people. Done. But that's not what Tad cares about, is it? Tad only cares about one thing. Don't you, Tad?
Oil.
Texas tea.
Is
Oil.
it refreshable? Is it refittable?
Refreshing. Oh.
Ooh. So this is an interesting sect. You don't get to choose how long the vehicles are. Like, that's kind of part of it.
Yeah.
Which is like reality. You don't just go, oh, I'm going to have one train that's rich and one that's long. They're all the same length. So, yeah, not very many people have only got one hand.
Isn't that the whole point of that Microsoft accessory Xbox? What do they call it? Oh, what do they call it?
What is it called?
Big square Xbox controller.
I know what you mean. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called the Microsoft Accessibility Controller, rather rubbishly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can you imagine playing... I mean, the thing is, alright, yes, but can you imagine playing Rocket League or Doom or Apex Legends on that? That ain't going to happen. There are too many games, and this is one of the things...
It's too twitchy, though. It's too twitchy.
Yeah, exactly. So there are too many games like that. I've always stated that I will try wherever possible to avoid games that require you to have a minimum physical dexterity to play, where the game suits it. And that's where Fortress Craft, you can... There's no time pressure. There's no accuracy pressure. It's about making the right decision and then watching that decision play out. Obviously, you can go quicker if you are more abled. Where is Pip and Emma? We're not making quite enough money to replenish some of these trains. But we are now, and we can now go a bit more monorail-y.
Can we set it so it changes all the trains to monorail if they go into... No, you can't do that, can you? You have to clone them. We're cloning...
No, you can't clone them. You have to basically make a new train and tell it to go to the old one. Yeah.
And then claim the orders of the old one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit... You can't upgrade between sets, yeah.
I'd rather stick to what we've got here and have it changed to maglev rather than going through monorail.
That Maglev doesn't come in until... Oh my gosh, freaking ages away, though. Maglev's 2030, I think. I mean, that's several days of play.
Yeah. That steel addition makes a big difference to the running of that train now.
Well, sorry, what, who, how, where?
At Tilly Lee factory. I'm getting both goods trains making a circuit fairly quickly. That's cool.
Yeah, they're
And
making
good money too.
They are, yeah. Goods makes a lot of money because you have to do a lot of prep work to make it happen. Because you can't make goods. You have to deliver something to make goods. So you have to do 2 steps.
Half mine or just 3.
Yeah. The one thing the Wasteland mod did, steel has a use now.
No scav rail.
Everything's so far away. It's okay though. Although, that's not bad. Alright. We can work with that.
Yeah, all I really want with this game is the ability to play it in VR and look at me, just have my own enormous model railway.
Could you do it?
Would I do what?
Do it yourself?
Well,
Implement the VR yourself?
I do kind of have that in the works. It's got a great name. It's got a great name. I'll type it because I don't want to. It's so one of my next. So I've got a bunch of games I'm releasing. So I've got 3 games I'm finishing off. All 3 of which are
doing all this during Eden?
no. These are ones. These are ones that I stopped to do Eden, and that's the name of the game. And I'm so pleased with the name of that game. That's amazing. I love it. Isn't it brilliant? And I've got a plumbing game and a space station game, and they're both VR. Then I'm going to do my SnowRunner clone, and then I'll be on Fortress Phoenix. That's my goal.
That's the plan, Stan.
That's my plan. Yeah. Well, something. No plan survives the enemy. But Eden has gone very well financially for me. We'll see how it does.
Well,
I'm not brilliantly confident, shall we say, but I have been wrong before. I mean, this is something I will freely admit. I often realise I have no idea what people want. I write games I think are brilliant, people don't care. I slap out some old shit, it sells millions of copies. I've no idea anymore, so we'll see. But it has it's also helped because the Patreon for Fortress Craft is still going, and that has helped because that's just been
welcome.
Thank you, Tab. That's just been accumulating money there, so that means that I now have a pool of money to pull on in order to develop Fortress Craft.
That's why I keep throwing money at it.
Well,
'Cause I want more Fortress Craft.
well, I'll be pushing that more once once I'm back on it.
Busy.
Yeah. Well, I'd say the thing is, once the SnowRunner clone starts going, I think people will be interested because I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks fucking good because it's all atmospherics, it's all HDRP, it's everything that will be in Fortress Craft Phoenix, and it looks great. Like, I love atmospherics; they're definitely one of my favoritist things.
Which is atmospherics for those of us who don't know?
don't know how to describe without using the word atmospherics.
So atmospheric, really?
Like,
What? Describe the effect of the feature it's supposed to give.
it means that light has solidity to it.
Oh,
And-
what?
Solidity. I'll link you. I'll link you a video. So it means that in most games, light. When you cast a light beam, the light beam is invisible. You don't see the light. You see the effect of the light, but you don't see the light itself. So if you were to shine a laser in a computer game, you get the red dot, but you wouldn't get if you fire it through smoke.
Line.
You wouldn't get the line through it. But with volumetrics, you do. So you can see that in that little video I linked.
Okay.
You've got all of the lights on top have a glow. The smoke picks up the lighting. You can see the shadows of the beacons through it, and it just looks really good. It looks really, really, really good. And Fortresscraft is a very atmospheric game, and it should mean that it ends up looking superb. And I'm going to be learning my stuff on the SnowRunner clone. I say SnowRunner clone. It's not really going to be a SnowRunner clone.
In spirit, but not in actuality.
Yeah, it's a bit more. To be honest, I'm a bit annoyed that Character Man has stolen my thunder a little bit with having a game with a hollow base and a map in VR. I was like, oh, that's what I was doing. But it's alright, I'll forgive it because I've been enjoying it.
No higher praise.
Yeah, Character Man's quite good volumetrics though, because you notice that when you've got a ship a long way away, it's all misty and foggy, so the point lights of the navigation lights become a misty sort of glow. And I really like the way that looks. Like all the way through, I really, really like volumetrics, and they are very much the future because they're real. And Fortresscraft will benefit massively because it's fundamentally a very dark game with a lot of lights. Should look great.
Yes.
I can mentally see in my mind's eye how it will look. And the quick prototype I did of the SnowRunner clone works. Basically, I just want to get it so it looks good and plays all right. Pop some networking in and give it some whirls on the stream. So I have plans. I just need to get Eden done and dusted, which is still taking up 60 plus hours of my life every week. Yosh. How are we doing on the trains?
I'm gonna put another grain one in over here. Just gotta work out to do a 90-degree turn up a hill. Oh bloody hell! That's a up a hill and downhill, isn't it? Don't really want to go all the way around the hill.
We are quite rich. Feel free to make the hill a thing of the past, or just put
Yes.
a tunnel through it.
I think I might just stick a tunnel down. Yeah.
But we're about to hit year 2000. Hopefully, we get something shiny and new.
Ooh.
Pip and Emma still hasn't been renewed, damn it.
It's an expensive train to move.
It is.
I looked at it, I was like, it's how much? Well. That was lucky.
Gordon, what is wrong with you? Yeah, but I'm actually talking about the aircon. I've got a quote that I'm happy with, and the guy's like, cool, I'll let you know. And I'm like, okay then. And I've had to poke him going, so what's going on? Why are people so rubbish? I've noticed this about every time
There's a lot of work on at the moment.
I don't care how much work they've got on, they still reply to the email. If you've ever had to deal with
I've had someone trying to quote me for the kitchen, and they only because I got the contact from my mum, and my mum puts a lot of work their way, that I've actually heard they're still trying to find the time to do the quote. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake.
Have you ever dealt with a garage via email?
No.
Oh my god.
Only by phone.
It's just like they're all massively incompetent. My current garage is great because I deal with them via Facebook. It's brilliant. I can message them on Facebook and I get a response. But my old garage and previous ones, they always get saying, going, oh yeah, we've been having problems with our emails. I'm like, fuck off. It's not in 2001. I've been having problems with my emails. Set up.
I'm incompetent.
Yeah, but like, it's bollocks. Just set up a fucking email address at hotmail.com and that won't have any problems ever. So bollocks to you. Just and I'm like, oh, that's a shame. Okay. But they're all, it's weird. They're mechanically brilliant and technically incompetent. Because I was quite friendly with my previous Impreza garage. I was chatting with a guy. I was like, oh, you got a new monitor? He goes, yeah, yes, but I was really hoping it'd be better than the old one. I'm like, well, it looks better. He goes, yeah, but I wanted to get more on it, and you can't get more on it, and I'm just disappointed. And I was like, what do you mean you can't get more on it? He goes, well, look, I'll show you. And he showed me. So he had a brand new monitor, lovely, whacking great, 32-inch, 1080p thing that he was running at
1080p,
that he was running at 720p, like his old one.
Oh, didn't work.
And I'm like, click. He goes, whoa, that's brilliant. That's so good. And I'm like, I feel the same way when you fix my head gasket. So that's all fine.
Yeah, a friend of mine's got an old XP machine, but he's got specifically the software on it he needs to keep. And I was trying to explain to him how to virtualize it so he could get a new machine, but still keep the same sort of
stuff
on it. And so you can even make it so you basically you just run the application, it runs it in the VM, but you don't know it's there. And sort of tried to explain to him, but not sure I convinced him properly.
Yes, I should. I've any VMs I've really used is I use Linux in a VM in Windows, which is weird because it's from the Microsoft Store. So you just go Linux and you just run Linux in a window. I was like, oh, that's weird. Like that's really really odd. And it's brilliant and it works great, but I literally there you go, bang! I'm now running Linux in a VM, and I was like, wow. Like, it's got so easy. It used to be such a pain in the ass. I just haven't currently got any uses for a VM.
Well, you can run them on your NAS box.
Okay, I can run one on lots of computers. I don't have a use for it. Because you said the same thing, going, I've got this NAS box, and it's really powerful. What should I do with it? It's like, yeah. Same thing, I've got all these Android boxes, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with them, really.
Bloody hell, Gordon's expensive, isn't he?
Gordon's alive!
Oh, expensive.
They are all expensive. If anything, the monorails are quite cheap. Yeah, so the monorail, like the long monorail, is only 700,000. And it's faster and carries more than the 125. I should probably Revolt some more again at some point.
Revolt?
Revolt. Very controlled car racing game. It was really good. The problem is we downloaded a massive pack of cars and trucks and tracks, and then we discovered that nearly all of the fan-made tracks are shit.
Range is getting old.
You can if you click on the cog third icon along and go to settings and type in renew, tick the box.
Settings. Wait. Say that again?
Hold the mouse button on the cog, let go on the word settings, where it says filter string, type in renew, and tick auto renew vehicle when it gets old.
Oh.
So that should now do it.
Company. Oh.
Are you timing out, Tad?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Incidentally, Max, you know, in the UK, if we get more than 100,000 votes on a petition, the Parliament has to look at it.
Yes.
There's currently one that's about to hit 100,000, and they want to make it illegal, a criminal offence, to lie in Parliament. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh. And I'm like,
There's that.
Burden of proof.
well, the thing is, yeah, I mean, I think that the important phrase would be knowingly lie.
Yeah.
And I think if you can prove they knowingly lie, sure, absolutely, throw the fucking book at them. No ifs, no buts, done. Yes. But I'm curious to see how the debate goes. Like, how would you debate against that? Going, no, we shouldn't, because we should be allowed to lie. I suspect it'll be what happens if I thought I was telling the truth. It was like, well, then you're not lying, are you? That's being mistaken.
That's being misled.
Well,
Mistaken, yeah.
I mean, you are mistaken, or in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. It's definitely not a deliberate misleading of others.
Yes, but yeah, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for that one to go through.
Let's see how you bastards do that. Yeah.
Figured that out. Shit!
Shit, what?
My iron mine disappeared. Damn it! I hate it when you've got everything set up and it's doing its first loop around to set up the stations so that it knows what it's doing, and when it comes back around again, it's gone. You're like, ugh.
That's quite unlucky. I usually do it straight away. Like, I make sure.
To be a lot.
Like, I usually hook up the. Let's say it's iron ore to a smelter. You go iron ore to smelter, and then go. Don't worry about the coming back. You can build that quicker. Get it there immediately, because then it counts as working. But yeah, that's quite unlucky, though. It really is unlucky.
So disappointing. Now I'm going substantially farther. But I'm trying a
Tad?
system that might work.
Tad?
Am I still here?
Further.
Robot.
Further.
No?
Further.
Further?
Not farther. Different.
Further what?
You are going further, not farther.
Nah.
They're different words. Do I have to? Is it time for you to learn something, Tad? Is it that's
No.
So do you know the Do you know the difference, Max? Do you know when you use each one? I've got a good mnemonic, which is the only reason I know.
Yes, when I
Oh, go on then.
can throw my ball farther. No, that doesn't sound right. Throw my ball further. Yes, no, that's, I can throw my ball further than you. The distance I got was farther than last week.
No.
That's not wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I can throw my ball further than you. You throw a ball distance further, but my father is emotionally distant. My father is more emotionally distant than my mother. His emotional distance is farther. So a physical distance, like, is a further with a U. A distance that is not a physical distance, like emotional distance or something, is farther, as in the relation to your father. And the way to remember it is, I am emotionally distant to my father. So there you go.
Okay.
So, I'll say the reason I know it. I love the way you went, yes, I throw my ball farther. No, wait, that's not right. Oh my god, Gordon the Passenger Train 3. What are you doing, lol? Where are you going?
Good thing that farms don't get grumpy when you mess up and rip up half their farmland.
Well, true, yeah.
I have wrecked this poor person's crops.
I can't comment for a fact one way or the other about if reducing the number of farm squares reduces the output of the farm, though. I don't think it does, though.
It didn't in the Wasteland mod, I don't think. It's irrelevant, though. I'm not using this farm.
I wish I could objectively know if older games were actually very, very good and better, or it's nostalgia. Because I'm just listening to the Underworld 2 theme track.
Nostalgia would soon be smashed to pieces when you come to play it and find it's a piece of shit.
Wait, well...
So you're saying, is it better because I remember it, because it was a fond memory? That's fine, but as soon as you came to actually play it, you're like watching kids' TV, like 18, you know. You watch it as an adult, you're like, why isn't he dead? Why is there no blood? Why is
so...
Like, yeah, this is great. So it's kind of like that. You kind of, you know...
Yeah, but conversely, I quite like watching Knight Rider, even though it's a pile of crap, because I'm like, I used to watch this, and it feels nice to watch it. So I was thinking about Underworld 2, because I remember Underworld 2 being an excellent game, but I'm not sure if it actually was. Whereas at the arcade, we have an awful lot of games, and some of them I have no nostalgia for, and I'm playing them going, fuck me, these are awful. These are really, really bad games. They weren't good then, they were just new and original. But I know some people who really love these games, and I was like, oh, that's a bit strange.
Today, then.
So, yeah, I mean, some of it is it works with films. I said, we've been trying to find films suitable to watch with my niece and my nephew, who's 10 and 13 at the moment. So Gremlins is out. The 10-year-old would not enjoy Gremlins in the slightest. But we watched Inner Space, and I was like, oh, this is really good. Watch Tron, the original Tron. Excellent. The new Tron. Excellent. Sometimes you watch films, though, and after a while you're like, oh... Attack of the Clones is one. You watch it going, I forgot how boring this film was for so much of its runtime. Oh, my word. So sometimes you remember something good and it's not. But I've been using their reaction to the film to judge if the film's any good. It's not the same as games, because obviously films from the 80s aren't much worse, whereas games from the 80s are freaking awful. Almost without exception.
Did you see the Flight the Navigator video where they showed how that was done? By
yes, yeah, because I was like, oh,
sorry. Well, it's done by Ellen.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I thought it was all CGI. Oh, but yeah, the thing is, so Flight the Navigator is a good example. I fucking hate that film. It's awful. It takes ages to get going, and then when it does get going, there's almost. Oh shoot! I meant to say yes. I clicked no. Press the yes. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember it, and then it just takes forever to get going. I just did not like it at all. Oh, 112 miles an hour. But I never liked it. Like I didn't really like it then. But I've watched it a few times. I liked the spaceshipy bits, but they were too short.
Yes. Have you seen Fast and Furious 9?
I have not, no, due to combination of pandemic and we don't get HBO Max in this country because apparently they don't want my money. So, all right,
yeah,
you can't have my money then. I haven't got around to pirating it, which I will.
Okay.
I've got.
Well, there's a bit in there with the VR. What you call it? Motion move.
Oh right. Now I've no qualms.
Very fleeting.
I've not got no qualms about pirating something. If I want to buy it, I just can't. And quite frankly, I'm not going off to the cinema quite yet. And I'm getting there. I'll start to feel a bit more like it. But the point is, I'm not going to go risk my health if I don't want to, just because you don't want to sell it to me, which is dumb as hell.
Yes.
But because I've got, like you say, I've got my my home cinema room, which is coming along. I want to buy a couple of lazy boys and get some rumble units in them. So I just bought a second rumble unit for my motion rigs. I look forward to that tomorrow. I've spent a little bit of time tuning it, but I now have a second rumble unit, a very small one, under the pedals. So I've done those for front wheels losing traction, the engine, and the ABS.
Can you link me an image of these? What do you call them? Transducers? Because I'm just curious to know how they. I'm assuming they just don't vibrate. They actually have to be connected to something to make a vibration of some sort.
No, they
like a speaker. You just bolt it onto something.
They vibrate. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Where is it?
You just have to bolt it on, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I one of them. So hold on, I'll link here. So I've got one of them in my chair, and it's a slightly nicer colour than that. But I've got one of those in my chair, and all it is I just cable tied it to the framework of my chair. But it's basically there's no cone in it. It's just the magnet part of a speaker. And it's about 2 inches across, 3 inches across. My God, does it give a hell of a wallop though? Really surprising because it's.
To wire it through a filter, low pass filter or a high pass filter.
Well, so I've got two of them. So on my motion rig, I'll go for that first. On my motion rig, I use a piece of software called SRS, Sim Racing Simulator. And that accepts telemetry from games, and then it can specifically fire off the transducer based on game events. For example, changing gear or having a collision. It can also do stuff like simulate the engine revs going through it. So I've got my one set up. So I've got one on the pedals, and that one's set up to give me a little bit of the engine audio, a little bit of the engine revs, a little bit of the surface of the ground, a little bit of ABS and rumble strips. So I should feel a little bit through the pedals. And the other one's set up to do impacts and stuff. On my PC, it's a lot more dumb because I don't have another copy of SRS. So what I've got there is I use Voice Meter Banana, and then I've got two sound cards. So one sound card is my one that I've got my headphones in, and the other one is a little USB sound card that costs tuppence off of Amazon, and that I run a low pass filter on, and I just more or less stuck it in my chair. And it's the amount of bass you get, no one else can hear is crazy, to the point where I keep going, God, this is so loud. But imagine you had so much bass that your chair was vibrating. Imagine how loud that bass would need to be. It feels like you're listening to bass that loud.
Yeah, with normal speakers, you mean?
Yeah, but you're actually not.
You're just feeling it.
You're just feeling it, yeah, and it's really cool. But yeah, they're not expensive.
There's an opportunity potentially for me to come and have a look around that at some point in September.
Oh, ooh, cool. What are you up here for?
It's still unconfirmed. Wakefield.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah, very nearby. Yeah, it should be all good.
Yeah.
Should be all good by then.
The problem is that not my manager, but someone else promised me to go somewhere, and that's not strictly his procedure to do it, but he's high enough that he can do it. So we shall see if that comes to anything.
Yeah, no, let me know. Everything should be all back to normal by then. Closest, I mean, I say I'm still being cautious. I was pinged, but obviously we did a proper test and it came back negative. Because obviously I went down to Southampton and back and Wales and back, and my phone's running the app. So someone I spent some time with got it. But that might be someone in the No, they definitely got it, because that means someone I was in contact with more than 2 hours has had a positive COVID test. So someone definitely got it, but that doesn't mean I got it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that it doesn't work like someone who got it got pinged, and then I got pinged because they got pinged, because then obviously everyone in the entire country would be flagged up with about 20 minutes.
That Pingdemic Day, wasn't it? They pinged like 600,000 people or something mad.
Yeah, well, the thing is, as I said, people complained about it, and it's like, that's like complaining that your burglar alarm is too loud because it keeps going off. Like, it is loud and annoying, but go and check if there's a burglar. There isn't. Brilliant. Press the silence button. But yeah, it's basically, all it means is there is a significantly higher chance you have COVID than anybody else. Just go and get it checked. You haven't got it. Brilliant. Awesome. But yes, I'm still being a wee bit on the cautious side, but obviously everything is beginning to calm down around here. And I said I'm not in a good place. I say that. I say everything's been to calm down, and I just quick look at the graph, and it's just fucking... The graph is wibbling along at 30,000 average. So it's the same.
Double dab now, though.
I'm double jabbed, yeah. But this is the thing. That just reduces my chances. That doesn't mean I'm safe. Yes. Not by any means. But yeah, our current daily rate is the same as it was in the end of December. The thing is, the vaccination rate, the death rate is trivial compared to what it was. It's absolutely massively reduced, and that's the important thing. So that you're still quite likely to get it, but you're now very likely to get away with it, as opposed to merely quite likely to get away with it. Have you been following the shit in Texas, Tad?
I haven't heard anything about Texas. What's happened there?
Texas put into law that schools are not allowed to mandate masks.
All right.
So I'm like, what? I mean,
What does that mean? They can say, "Please, can you wear a mask?"
No, that means that
no,
parents.
they're not allowed to say, "Please wear a mask."
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
up to parents.
you're not allowed to make people wear masks, and it's like, the fuck? Okay, and then the governor has got COVID badly. He's now been triple jabbed. He's now using the new monoclone. They've cloned the bacteria. Once a vaccine starts, you get these cells, and they can now clone these cells. So if you're in dire straits, they can inject you directly with almost like a real-time vaccine
Antibody.
So yeah. Imagine they're injecting you with the antibodies directly. Yeah, this is an incredibly expensive treatment. But this is the guy who's been still making people not wear masks. So this is the thing. He's not just saying we're not going to make you wear a mask. He's actively trying to stop people wearing a mask. Best bit, I love this. Due to the education bill in Texas, he can pass this no mask mandate. What he can't do is place any laws restricting the dress code. So a bunch of schools have now changed their dress code to include masks. Like, fuck, someone's got their head screwed on. But yeah, I just... In America, the whole mask thing got bizarrely
Like school uniform.
political. Yeah, but like really weirdly... Yeah, so it's now part of the school uniform. But now it's a political thing. One of the parties thinks you should wear masks, and one of the ones doesn't. Like, what the fuck? Like, properly mad. In the UK, not so much. As I said, I like wearing, especially outdoor. Give it another month or so, I will be happy to wear my mask until about May, because it's going to be cold and horrid. And I am a glasses wearer, so it steams up, but...
Oh, there's a trick to putting it on properly.
Oh yeah, I know. You tuck it up, but you go like that, and it huffs up. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I know. You tuck your glasses up and then put it there and put your glasses on.
No.
Yeah.
You just, whenever you get the mask, you fold it literally, that metal bit that goes over your nose, literally fold it back on itself, fold it in half, and then go about a centimetre down and push it into your hand. So you then sort of make this V shape in it, and then put a V shape over the top of your nose.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've got a nice cloth mask rather than one that makes me look like I'm a surgeon.
I get surgeon ones every day. I go to every time I go to work. So.
Put your glasses further down your nose. It's fine.
Do you wear glasses, Tad?
Disagree.
I do, and that's what I do.
Oh.
I put them down a little further so that the nose piece, or the glasses sit on top of the little nose piece.
No, I know. If I put my glasses down, it's fine. If I don't and I huff, it all steams up. But as glasses wearers, this is not a new thing. When it's winter and you just go indoors going, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't see anything. Hold on a sec. Look
It
over.
happens now in summer.
Yeah.
People got their AC cranked so freaking hard. I walk outside and I'm like, oh.
I've never had that out in summer.
Oh.
Not in the UK because we don't
Oh,
really have
sorry.
we don't really have AC. But in the winter, you go indoors and it's like, yeah, I can't see anything for 10 or 20 seconds at least.
Well, yeah. What it clears, yeah.
Oh, it figures itself out.
Yeah.
No, Americans take their AC ridiculously seriously.
Well, I will be doing so
Well,
soon.
do you use heating much? Was that sort of less common these days?
Oh no, heating's just as, or it depends.
I mean, do they use the AC
the
for the
furthest
heating, I
you
mean?
go. It's heat pump.
Yeah.
They're becoming, or they're just as popular. Like, you've got to ask to make if your unit is a furnace, you've got to say you want a heat pump for
Really?
the outdoor unit because it's more electronics. It's probably like one extra relay.
Not a single option I've been offered for my aircon has not been a heat pump. Not one. It's
You can't get it without it.
it's not even a
More
discussion.
efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have straight AC systems still. We actually have one
just
at the
the
shop
cooling.
right now, sitting there looking sad because somebody wanted AC in their house, and then or just temporarily, and then when they were done with it, we got to keep that unit, and well, they got the actual heat pump unit. We're like, well, what are we supposed to do with this? Oh. Yeah. Building up a nice little thing going on here. Oh, it went from atrocious to very poor. They don't quite
Yay!
hate my guts as much as they used to. Yay! Oh, I'm not moving enough passengers. Okay, fair enough. Oh, well, that's easy to fix.
Shaka's gone. Oh, Shaka's got trams though. I wonder if they're doing well. Oh, they're very cool looking.
Trams.
Trams. The thing between roads and
Trains.
docks. No, there's nothing between roads and trains. Yeah, the trams look really cool actually. They're basically like two-way trains.
Where is this?
Trams. Well, if you look at Presswaite Springs,
Uh-huh.
or yeah,
Oh, those.
yeah.
Okay.
They look really cool.
He's got a lot of them.
He does. Now, whether or not that's a good
You can
idea,
attach them to the roads.
yes, that's where they score. So yeah, the mods we're running Thomas the Tank Engine, trams, and monorails.
Now, with these first-class coaches and inner-city coaches... Oh, for Pip and Emma. Makes sense. Alright.
I like that Pip and Emma, by the way, was designed in 1920. And it's now 2002 and we're still using it.
Can't afford to replace it.
Well, no, because you keep spending all the money.
Ah.
That's okay though. So what will happen? I mean, assuming that you are actually making money with the stuff, we're just accelerating the money we're making. Wow. Oh wow. Okay. I have. So I've sped my monorails up, which is cool. Unfortunately, this means that the passenger trains that are servicing it are now massively under capacity.
Oh dear.
So if I can just persuade Max to stop spending all the money.
I told him 20 minutes ago. He's like, we got tons of money. Spend it how you like.
I did not say that.
How much money did you spend? All of it.
Just one train. That's just one train. Yeah, so basically there's nearly 2,000 passengers waiting. And I need to get them out.
Oh my.
So I've just duplicated a train that's doing it. So what's happened is I've upgraded all the monorail stuff, and that's cool. But now I can't get people out of there quickly enough because the monorails are delivering the passengers and not getting rid of them. The choo-choo trains get rid of them. Specifically, Gordon and Gordon's friend. Gordon.
And Gordon's other friend, Gordon.
Air taxi.
Should probably, thinking about it, set up a frickin' airport, shouldn't I? Didn't think about that. Because we're now far enough through, I can actually make money with it. Build airports.
I was gonna show back up and go, what? It's gonna be so confused.
Oh. Cannot build this station too spread out. Fuck you. Well, I mean, I can't have an airport touching. That's ridiculous. Settings. Spread. Maximum station spread. 16 tiles then. Right, I'll keep increasing them until you let me do it. There we go. Also, we can now build stations further apart.
Cool.
Or like a single station can now encompass more area. Like I don't want to do it to cheat. It's just because I've got a railway station and I want an airport to service it. And it goes, nope, not doing that. It's like, I think I should be able to, in fact. Now, where are we? Oh, it's kind of annoyingly in the middle. Are you a city? Yes, you are. Right. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Right, what planes have we got then? Sort by maximum speed, because all other numbers are irrelevant. Which is silly. I don't agree with that at all. So, all that matters is the speed of the plane. Nothing else matters. God, I've already got to borrow 750,000. Ugh, why can't I keep the button pressed? Or shift click or control click? Oh, control click. Haha. Control click borrows the whole loan, and then then you can pay back the whole loan with control click.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
Name a famous airplane.
747.
Like a specific one. I'm not naming Concorde, so I'm gonna name it 747. There you go. Our Concorde is now called 747.
Ask a silly question. Get a silly answer.
Treading B or by the way has too few orders in the schedule.
Yes. It has nowhere to go right now because it doesn't have anything hooked up to it.
Aha.
But I want to get there before the bloody mine disappeared. So
Yes, you two seem
has
to,
been finding out.
you seem to have been very unlucky about that.
Yeah, sucked. But I want more ore. So.
Yeah. By the way, Tad, certainly in the UK, we're there seems to be, I don't know, between 30 and 60% of people are still wearing masks, depending on where you are, what you're doing. It varies a lot. A lot of companies are still doing it, and I'm waiting for a Sarkit comment, and my response would just be the change you want to see in the world. I would much rather everyone wore a mask and many less people got ill. I was always...
As in, not just COVID, but colds and other shit.
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. I mean, you've been at work where someone goes, "Oh yeah, I am ill, but I'm gonna."
Well,
I'm
really
like,
shit, yeah,
go home. Don't make me ill, you fuck.
Yeah.
And it was as
That's
a
the problem. Yeah. Exactly the problem.
It was the last time I went to the arcade when it was open. Was after the pandemic had started. We knew it was going. It was definite in the local area, but I was like, oh, I'll pop in. And there was just a child, obviously ill, a cold, the flu, obviously ill, and just coughing, just that phlegmy that children do. No hand, just like fucking phlegming out. And I said, Jason, I said, that's it. I'm going. I'm not even being around. I mean, in nothing else. What sort of mother are you going, oh, little Timmy's ill and there's a pandemic on. Let's go out to a big public area and your child apparently doesn't even know even to cough into his hand. Fuck this.
Yep. It is a crapshoot.
But yes, be the
To be fair, I try to tell my son to cough into his
cough
shoulder or whatever,
Yeah.
and he doesn't either. He struggles to remember to do it. You have to nag the hell out of them to get them to even do it.
Well, sneeze on him next time he fails.
I will, yeah, good point.
Yeah, I did see a thing that says, I always thought I had a really good immune system until I got children. And then it turned out I simply didn't normally hang around people who would just sneeze onto your eyeball in the middle of telling you a story.
Mm-hmm. Kids are great.
Sneeze onto your eyeball.
Yes, you're talking, and then I went.
That's a funny thing.
and then I went there and I did this, and then I went over here and I was like, fuck.
Naughty little shit.
I mean, that's why I said everyone who I know who had kids when the government are like, oh no, there's no disease vector through the children. It's like, what the fuck? Are you joking? Children are nasty little disease magnets. Like, why do you why do you think they aren't? Oh my word, because they definitely are. Okay, plane, you need to make me some money.
Oh, no, that's not right.
Oh my lord. I think Shaku's doing very, very badly at this town, and my rating's higher, so they love me.
We have more monorail stuff.
Yes.
Loading speed slow.
Flooding breeze ore was. Was it Treasure Root? Treasure Root ore. Oh, I sent to the wrong place. Twat. Okay, I'll fix that.
Come on, 747, I need some money.
That's a lot of clicking to get to 700,000. Jeez.
Come on, train, come on, plane. Yeah, okay, yeah, now the plane is just raking in money to the point where I might just go clone, clone, clone until we're full. Since drugs won the war on drugs, terror won the war on terror, and poverty won the war on poverty, I think it's time America stops declaring wars against nouns.
Wouldn't that be nice? Who was it that declared war on poverty? Was that Reagan?
On pirating?
Poverty.
Oh, poverty. Sorry, I was like, I think we have declared war on piracy, and I think that's a good thing. Now I have a choice of trains. Why? So this train is it's half the price to buy, and everything else about it is worse. No, screw that. But yeah, Max, if you do end up in the area, let me know.
Sure.
It's all basically we're being cautious, not paranoid now. I think that's fair.
On midnight, just to warn you.
Oh, blimey. Yes, we should probably stop them. Let's save it. Yeah, I wish I could describe why I like the game. It's just very relaxing, and it's not exciting. Nothing's unexpected. You just kind of play it in time.
It's a little puzzler.
Yeah. It's a little puzzles that you make yourself, and a lot of it it's like playing solitaire. It's not difficult. It's not challenging. You just go fill that, do this. That's nice. Anyway, yes, it is gone midnight. So it is Liverspeed tomorrow, and Friday Carry Command, and Saturday Scrap Mechanic. So yeah, hopefully see you all tomorrow. I'm looking forward to playing with my double bass shaker. I've lost my Wago connectors. I've put them somewhere. I can't bloody find them. So I've got terminal blocks. So I'll see how long before it vibrates itself to bits.
Oh dear.
Yes, but I tell you very quickly, Max. I've got my Oculus Quest, and I've got a new strap for it, and it is fantastic. It is.
Oh, this Halo one, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, and yeah, I still think the G2 is still better. I'm very, very pleased with it, and I've got a PCI USB card, which means that on the last stream in 3 hours, my headset only lost 25% charge. So that should also be good.
It's dishing out more juice to it.
It's dishing out. No, my motherboard is apparently only putting out 4.7 volts to USB, which most shit doesn't give a shit about. But the Quest is a very high power headset, so it really does care. Anyway, we'll come back to Transport Tycoon next Wednesday and put some more planes down, and hopefully we'll get more of these lovely monorails. So